That's why I hate the game. Always get
For real, as soon as I put some change on it, no, that's how I go. It never fails. I got to do silly bit.
Season 3's Debate with Bake Sports Show. We coming live from the Mo. You know how we go. We talking basketball, football, and boxing. You got something to say, man? Jump up in them comments. We gon' keep it real with opinions and facts. Let's look at the stats. Well, that settles that. It ain't no hating. We just debating, interviewing guests so we can learn how they operating. Give you our perspective in a way that's captivating. Another sports show to put in your rotation. See, Bake choose the topics, everybody looking. Laro got the commentary and he keep it cooking. Cole with the game, he coming live from Brooklyn. You know, it's the most serious production. We giving game free, so tap in and see. Season 3, DWB, MSC.
What up, what up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Debate with Bake Podcast, brought to you by Mo Serious Entertainment here in Mo City, Texas. I am your host, Charles, a.k.a. Debate with Bake Baker. And we back in the building once again, episode 5, season 3. We got a lot to cover tonight. But before we get into it, make sure you check us out on moserious.com. Go on there and check out DWB. We're bringing it in, the sports center of moserious.com. Shout out to my other acts on the label. Guns Down, Gloves Up with Johnny Bynum, Dr. Candace Matthews, Mo City the podcast, and other acts that are coming on moserious.com. But we here, the sports center of moserious.com. And you know what? We're going to be the sports center on the internet. Well, we're going to have a different name. We're just going to say DWB right now. I say Sports Center because everybody understands that Sports Center is the main body of sports. But we getting there because I do think Sports Center and a lot of the other outlets take from us. But that's neither here or there. Let's get to it. Shout out to my man Chuck for holding us down once again on the label, the master of moserious.com. But let's get into it, man. Sitting to my left, my co-host, you know what I'm saying, here in H-Town, always bringing the heat, the fire, you know what I'm saying, representing that 3rd Ward, Texas, my boy Larry Evans, a.k.a. Ro. What's going down with you, man?
Same old thing, man. You know how we do it. We're in the worldwide South Side. That's how we doing it, man. We're going to bring it.
That's right, Ro, man. I see you over there with the H-Town jersey. You know, Ro always representing with the H-Town merch. You know what, Chuck? Might have to do a little collabo on some H-Town merch and Mo Serious, man, because Ro really got it. I can see Ro over there right now with the H-Town, Mo Serious somewhere in there. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing that out. I know, Chuck, you the mastermind behind everything. But you know what, man? Ro might have us on some little collabos. I mean, Mo Serious stuff.
No, I got you. We'll put it together.
Yeah, because, you know, Ro always representing with the H-Town hat. You know what I'm saying? But it's good to see him. We back in here. And shout out to my man Cole up in NY. Of course, he's absent, man. Shout out to my man.
I'm going to give a shout out since you brought that up on some BG love. Shout out to VAR, self-validated.
That's right, LeVar, man.
Yeah, self-validated. He got a bunch of H-Town collabs that he done made custom.
Well, maybe that's...
man, y'all tap in with VAR, man. BG, y'all stand up.
And maybe that's a future collaboration. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, just throwing them ideas out there. You know, we got Mo City, we got BG, we got a couple of hoods. Shout out to my man LeVar. He be putting it out there on Facebook. It's self-validated. Check us out. Check him out too. He did a little collabo. Came on the Mo City podcast, I believe. So check those episodes out. That's in the Mo Serious archive. But shout out to my man Cole. He could not be here tonight. Shout out to my man in New York. It's unfortunate, man, because I really wanted to talk about DiVincenzo versus Mr. Bronson. That was live, wasn't it? That was, Papa Bronson was out there giving it to him, man. And they was talking. So I'm looking forward to that matchup, man. Minnesota versus New NY, man. It looked kind of steamy out there with DiVincenzo, but
it's some bad blood.
Yeah, it's some bad blood out there, man. It looked like DiVincenzo. You know, the whole sentiment from DiVincenzo was like, y'all shouldn't have let me go, but I'm going to let y'all have it because he put up some numbers in that game. Shout out to my man Dante, that Villanova connection. But anyway, Shout out to Cole. Cole, check us out. Give us that thumbs up too. You too, ladies and gentlemen. Give us that thumbs up. Give us those likes. And keep rocking with us. Make sure you get in on the chat with us. Go to mostserious.com. Check us out. Check out the merch. As you can see, I don't know if y'all can see Chuck, but Chuck got the Most Serious hat on right now. You know what I'm saying? Chuck, get in front of that camera, man. You know, that's the man behind the plan, the man on the wheels of steel. But show us that Most Serious hat. That's right. That's right. There you go. Ain't no excuse when you see that symbol and when you see that on the back. And we will be doing the advertisement for it, but just in case you don't catch it right now. But check out that Most Serious hat and get that Most Serious merch on mostserious.com and make sure you give DWB that thumbs up and like. All right, let's get into it, man. We got a lot of things to discuss. We got a fire show for you. Make sure you get in on the chat and give your opinion, because here's the thing. I always say Debate with Bake is the master debater, but you know what? Some people think they can rival me. You know, my co-hosts, they be wearing me out. Chuck be wearing me out. But guess what? I'm still here. We still the #1 sports show with Debate with Bake. And it would make the show that much better.
If they could only see the group chat.
Oh, man. Hey. And someday, I hope we can put that on there because we be going live.
Oh, man. All week.
Listen, we got a group chat. And shout out to Shayla, man. I want to get her on here because sometimes she say stuff. She rarely say stuff, but we need her back. That's the little sis on Debate with Bake staff, but hopefully she'll come back. But I know she be tripping because we be on there firing it up, boy. And they be coming after you, boy, man. They be trying to get you, boy, Debate with Bake, but I hang in there. You know, sometimes Ro jump on my side. Sometimes Ro be with Cole. Sometimes we jump on Ro. Sometimes Chuck get in on it. But it's interesting because we do need to get that chat out because that's what this show is really named about debates. So we do current news, but it's mostly about the debates. When we get those debates in off that chat, off the whole thing on the phone and everything, if y'all see that, and Chuck, we need to think about getting that because people need to see what we be saying. Yeah. But anyway, let's get into it. I know I've been doing a lot. My intro was long, but you know what? I'm excited to be back. Hit that like and subscribe, but let's get into it. All right. First topic of the day might not be the most important topic, but I thought it was significant. The New York Jets fire head coach Robert Salah. Now, the panel, we're going to talk about this. First and foremost, it's kind of a surprise to me because even though the Jets, well, I'm not going to say it's a surprise, but even though the Jets are not doing, apparently they're not doing what they thought they were going to be able to do, they're still not the worst team in the AFC. So I was a little bit surprised to a certain extent, but it also shows me that the Jets have high expectations. And I think, what are they, 3-2 right now, 2 or 3, one of those. So evidently, management is trying to send a message that we're not the same old Jets. Now, my question to you, and let's start off with you, Ro. And when I say you, I'm talking about everybody that's, tuning in right now. Make sure you put your thoughts in the chat. Chuck, too, you can get on this. But how do you feel about this, Ro? Let me be a little bit more specific. Did you see this coming, and how you feel about the move from the Jets?
Nah, I totally didn't see it coming. I'm not going to lie, but at the end of the day, like understanding the New York sports culture, so to speak, it's a tough road to hoe, to say the very, very, very least. No, I didn't see it coming, nor do I necessarily agree with it. It's the BIPOC thing, black, people of color, it's like, hey man, how y'all gonna give him an X after that? Y'all gave him a horrible thing to deal with, a horrible first campaign for A-Rod, and it's like, yeah, y'all not setting the world on fire, but hey, y'all in a tough division. Ain't nobody, nobody new to this. Everybody true to this. Ain't nobody new to this. So it's like, I just don't really see the desired effect of what the expectations were, because A-Rod doesn't equate to Super Bowl in my summation of just the team and just the team makeup and how it's going. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the list here, replacements even, and it's like, I mean, you could bring Belichick back. That would be, I guess, not ideal, but effective enough for the desired effect.
We're going to get to that list because we got those names. We're going to talk about that. And we got, just in case we want to think outside the box, especially you, Ro, because you do a good job with that. Doubt. But just to add on what you're saying, my opinion about it is I was surprised, but at the same time, when I think about it and I really analyze what the Jets been doing, they've already had a stout defense. The fact that they added Rodgers, and then, of course, what happened to him last year with the big injury. To me, they're trying to turn the culture around. And what I mean by that is we all know that the Jets have kind of been the back burner team to New York, to who? The New York Football Giants. Mm-hmm. And so it looks like the Jets are trying to change this culture in New York, in particular for them, because they've been bad for a long time. Well, let me not say bad, but they have not lived up to the expectations of the Giants.
There you go.
Everybody expects the Giants to do something. The Giants has the great division with the Cowboys and the Eagles, the NFC East. And so for a long time, and it's okay to admit that the Jets have been in the shadow of the Giants. Even in the AFC East, I mean, can we be honest? How many of us have ever had the Jets? I'm not going to say ever. Let me rephrase that. Lately, even when in the AFC East. And I'm talking about with the Dolphins, the Bills, them, New England. I mean, probably since the Rex Ryan days, I can think of.
That's the last time.
That's the last time they've been significant, even in the division. So they've either done 500 or worse. The fact that they went out and chased Aaron Rodgers, which some people think, he was older, but he still could play. The fact that they built the stout defense, the Sam Darnold thing didn't go right. They drafted high with him, high talent, but did not. He was disappointing.
Drafted Wilson.
Right. So you can see them trying to make some changes. This move right here tells me that they expect to win. Because number one, I'm with you. I didn't think Salah deserved to be fired. I don't even think he had enough time to really do anything. If you think about last year was supposed to be the year. And then the first play, Rodgers is out. So then it's like, okay. And they did decent being that Rodgers was out. Mm-hmm. But now, fast forward, okay, all right, boom. We reset. We got Sauce. We built a stout defense. We added some pieces on offense, and we got what we think a guy that can still play at a high level of quarterback. Some people still have Aaron Rodgers as a top 5 quarterback in this league. But for me, it's like they're setting the bar high because I don't think I'm not really with this firing. But again, it's the expectations of the Jets. They letting everybody know that 2 or 3, 3-2, whatever they are right now, is not acceptable. I understand that, but at the end of the day, why not give this team a chance? Because it's not like if you're looking at Cincinnati right now, Cleveland, it's a chance that they don't have a shot at the playoffs.
But they sticking with their gun.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, man, I get what New York is trying to set. They trying to set the precedent that they're serious. But it's like, man, the dude pretty much had to clean up everything. Salah, he had to clean up everything. He inherited an organization that wasn't winning. They finally give him some pieces and he don't go 5-0 and he get fired.
If you look at it, it's really the same playbook. They run this thing all the time the same way. They sign Favre with the same expectation, with a semi-stout defense, with this, that, and other. They keep getting this garbage from Green Bay. And I'm not quite sure who's in the front office. That's not a knock on Rodgers or his deterioration, therefore, that implies, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess he's decent enough because who else you going to get? You've been running this play a whole bunch of different kind of ways, and you haven't gotten much traction. And all the expectations in the world just don't equate to what's going on in a tough division. Because it's like, yeah, look at it. We the proof is in the pudding on Buffalo. It's just shit going to be in disarray tonight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't look for it to look much better. No time soon. They do play tonight.
It's almost like they curse. And shout out to Cole, because Cole said that one time. He was like, yo, the Knicks and the Jets are cursed. Like the Jets, it's like
since my man, who the dude promised to win over Johnny Unitas back when they wore leather caps down there. Joe Namath. Oh,
you go way back.
Yeah, that's the last time they won. That's the last time they won.
Yeah, true. Well, they had some years, and when you say win, you talking about Super Bowl, right?
Because it's like they were competitive. That's what I'm saying.
They had some years with Sanchez, and then he had the little butt fumble,
you know.
And then Parcells went there. Rex Ryan went there. They went to the playoffs. Remember the years of the 90s with Curtis Martin,
Lavernius Coles. It's like they had some
years, right? But they've always been in the Giants' shadow. So it's like it's almost like they are cursed because. I didn't even think about the Favre thing. Go get a veteran quarterback like they did with Rodgers, And it does seem like they're a graveyard for
Bro.
Green Bay, right?
The only thing of noteworthy of the entire run, besides the few little competitive spurts we mentioned, was when Mo Lewis racked up Drew Bledsoe on the sideline and invented Tom Brady. They created their own monster. If that's curse, and if that ain't proof that a curse exists, the proof is in the pudding. Y'all's own monster.
Hey, let me pose that question to the chat. Cole said it, and now Ro kind of brought it out. Are the New York Jets cursed? Oh man, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that because I do want to always favor the underdog team, and the Jets are the underdog team in New York. But anyway, that's for a whole nother discussion because it's funny how the Jets are Cole's team and he's not here tonight. But we're going to get him next week. But let's talk about what you was talking about. Who should they consider as the next permanent coach? Now, I got some choices here, but we will think outside the box if we're warranted to. But Jeff Ulbrich, Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, Nathaniel Hackett, or other. Now, you can put this in the chat if you want to get in. If you following us on the most serious chat, the DWB chat, put in who you want to see as to be the next permanent coach, because I think the defensive coordinator is taking over right now. Don't quote me on that, but I could be wrong. But all right, Ro, in your mind, it could be these choices, or you could think outside the box. You're very good at thinking outside the box. If you in the front office of the New York Jets, number one, let me ask you this. What should you be looking for? I'm going to put you on the spot. Mm-hmm. What should you be looking for in a head coach to come in right now or perhaps next year? And who is that guy?
Well, you honestly, you kind of need to clean house because you got a lot of fundamental pieces there, but you still relatively
we're gonna get to
just scattergun. We scattergun with it. Of the names selected, Bill Belichick's the only one that has a tangible, you know what I'm saying, instant effect in terms of if you implement his system and the way he does things, they've run that play before as well. And it worked relatively successfully before he found all this New England success.
Right.
Outside the box, you kind of want to go and get a guy who hadn't had opportunity yet, but at the same time being loyal to the New York culture and to the hard-nosed approach like that. They really could have gone in and gotten one of them hardballs, honestly. It's what I would have done in an ideal situation before the other hardball from Michigan took the job in L.A.
But they didn't know that. In respect to them, they were riding with Salah. And I get what you're saying, because I think Jim Harbaugh would have been perfect for this culture. But they didn't know that. Remember, they were going with Salah. It's like, and that's what makes this move so unpredictable, because it's like, you're not doing bad. It's just evidently, to your expectations, you're not meeting that. And I guess in their mind, it might not even be the record. They may not like how the team is looking right now. But to make this move right now, like you said earlier, it's like, why wouldn't you give this guy time or a chance to do this? It's like you making this move right now. Like,
no, and to stir the pot a little bit. I read that they said that the morning that the firing happened, the firing came down from ownership, from Woody, I forget what the man's name is. But they said that Nathaniel Hackett, who I believe is the offensive coordinator, yes, they said that Salah was about to strip him of play calling duties and do something. He had just come from the meeting doing that, and they escorted him out the building, got rid of him right after that.
So that move could have been the last straw that broke the camel's back. But we also got to think, on top of that, it was something else.
It's internal, right? He's the coach killer. It's A-Rod. A-Rod is the coach killer.
And I was about to say, we go to the chat, Coach Trey Austin. Shout out to my man, Trey Austin. Chuck, read that for us because I can't see it. He said Rodgers didn't like the coach. Now, everybody saw that exchange on the sideline between him and Rodgers. Now, Rodgers tried to smooth it over. You know what I'm saying? But we also heard, like you said, that the Nathaniel Hackett thing, that's what we could visually see. We could see that. And we can see Rodgers getting into the little conflict with Salah on the sideline. So it makes it seem like with those two things, it could have been a number of things that they didn't like. But the whole thing is this. It's just like, it's still the timing of the fire. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he was 0-5, like, let's be honest.
If you were Cleveland.
If he was in Cleveland or even Cincinnati, because Cincinnati,
got
the
the talent.
expectations,
Right.
right?
It's a very similar
Right.
situation.
The expectations is
Mhm.
like, you know what I'm saying? But Cincinnati, they always get off to a rough start, but they let it ride.
Stick with their
for
guns.
right. And so for the Jets, it's like, you're not in first place, but you're not in last place. But to your point, I want to talk about Belichick and then we'll move on a little bit. I want to talk about Belichick because here's the thing. Number one, do I think Belichick, I'm looking at this list and I'm like, man, you need somebody that can come in. Evidently, they want a culture in the Jets organization. That's the first thing that stuck out to me because for a man that's 2-3, 3-2, whatever the Jets are, it's like he wasn't doing nothing bad. It seems like it was a number of things that were going on. It seemed like the Hackett thing and an exchange on the sideline was like a buildup. So maybe they're looking for a culture. Belichick sticks out to me, but here's the thing about Belichick. Because if you are going to bring Belichick in, number one, he's probably going to want to be what? The general manager.
Basically.
We know when he was in New England, he wants to have that control. And if I'm wrong, tell me in the chat.
I will tell you now because he was on. Shout out to Pat McAfee. They had Belichick on there. He on there weekly,
right?
And they asked him that,
right? And
he was like, "Man, that's fake news." You know, basically, he was like, "I don't need that type of control." It's what he said.
It's what he said, and he might be saying that because he won a job. He might be saying that because here's the thing, and he could be right. He may be an age. He might be like, you know what? I just want to coach.
Yeah. He politely letting them boys know, look, I can be in.
Right. Because and the only reason, and Chuck, that's a good point. I do believe him, but we got to go off what we know about him. Any man that says I'm cool with this, we got to look at his track record. We know he likes to be in control. And I'm not mad. If anybody got a right to be in control, it's Belichick.
It's proven.
The
system's proven.
So number one, are the Jets looking for that when you talk about Belichick? Number two, just like Coach Trey Austin said it, and
they just don't realize it.
And I've heard this about Rodgers. He is a diva.
Oh, he's a coach killer. He's a coach. It's about like LeBron in LA not too long ago.
And I heard it was even worse than that because I've even heard in Green Bay, because I've always asked this question about Rodgers. Like, I'm very high on Rodgers.
That's why they were ready to turn the page and get to love.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look at in Green Bay, as talented as he was, as many MVPs he won. Why would they? And it wasn't like he was.
What, he got 4 and 1 ring?
Right. And it wasn't like, I mean, was he declining in his performance? But it wasn't like he was doing that bad. Why was Green Bay so eager to let him walk? Because he was still playing at a high level. And I've heard that. I've heard that from guys that I noticed in the NFL, guys that know guys in the NFL, that he's a diva.
Who did he win with? He won with Buddy in Dallas. He won with McCarthy. That's the only coach he won with. He didn't have 4 or 5 coaches.
Yeah.
In Green Bay, he was 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying?
And I've heard in the locker room that he's a diva.
I believe it.
And that could be, again, we just going off the extent.
Double check. You need a discount on that.
Right. And then the exchange in the locker room. I mean, the exchange on the field with Salah. I've heard that. So number 2, you got to think about that. And again, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like and subscribe. We projecting here. We don't know what's going on in New York. But
you said outside the box. I got it.
Who?
I got it. You get Prime, you draft Shador.
Come on,
man. In the Big Easy, in the big city, huh?
Yes, sir.
Listen,
Prime, New York,
in the big city.
In New York.
Listen, Prime already said he don't want to coach millionaires. Would it probably be good? But let me say this to our point. If you get Prime, Rodgers got to go.
Yeah.
Prime ain't going to deal with that.
No question.
But, I mean, that's not a bad idea.
That's what I say, draft Shador.
But Prime said he ain't coaching. He don't want to coach millionaires, and I don't blame him. But it's something there that, number one, they want to change the culture. Number 2, whoever you bring in got to deal with Aaron Rodgers.
He's almost got to be a Jet legend or something, though. Somebody.
Yeah, but it's got to be somebody that Rodgers like. I mean, we can sit here and ignore
Rodgers'
that.
shelf life limited. What is he, 42? Like, is he the oldest or Flacco the oldest?
Yeah, but
they say this might be his last year.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they're going to want to give him another year being that he got hurt.
See, that's the owner.
But he said that. Like, he couldn't even fully commit. He was talking in circles. And so.
Yeah, but you got to – but even then, let's just say that could be true. They trying to win now.
Exactly.
They trying to win now.
So I ain't trying to do that with a second-hand quarterback like that.
Exactly.
I'm just not trying to do it. I wouldn't hitch my wagon to it like that. I mean, they did it before with Favre. They seem to have all this blind faith in the winners, the past, the washed up winners from Green Bay.
Right.
I'm not sure exactly what you expect them to carry over and bring.
Well, here's the thing, and that's why I'm asking these deep questions. And make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and please feel free to get in the chat. They're in a tough position. I think they have to do what they're doing right now. It's got to be somebody on that staff, and I hate to say this because it makes me look like I'm supporting a diva. But it's got to be somebody that Rodgers likes. Let's just be honest. I mean, Golden State ain't bringing nobody in that Steph don't like.
Like, is Ben Johnson the old tight end?
Not him. Not him. I know who you're talking about. He's played for the Patriots. Not him. Now, this is just one of those assistants. I can't think of it. It's got to be somebody within that organization. Or it ain't the offseason. If it was the offseason, you would have to throw a bunch of money at McCarthy. Because that's the last time that Rodgers been successful.
He has synergy with a coach.
Exactly.
You're right.
You would have to throw a boatload of money, and let's just say hypothetically, and I had this in my mind today. Yeah, the way Dallas got beat, and we're going to talk about it later.
Because McCarthy,
he could be on the chopping block right now, right?
He's available.
Right.
That boy's available.
So maybe, ladies and gentlemen, maybe McCarthy's getting ready to go. I think you would probably have to take
That might be a marriage need to happen, bro. Yeah. That might be a marriage need to happen.
Because here's the thing, too. Devontae Adams
is in play as well.
He said he would consider New York because I don't know if he necessarily likes Aaron, but he likes their connection.
Man,
that's the last time he won.
Devontae and Garrett Wilson, that's a nasty little receiving core starting up.
And we'll get to the Dallas situation, but it's got to be somebody for this head coaching job that, I hate to say it, it's got to
good out though. I like that.
I was thinking about it. Like, it's got to be somebody. Okay, Belichick always sticks out to me because he's got the track record to tell Rodgers this is what it is, and Rodgers got to respect it. These other guys, they're good guys, but it's all about Aaron Rodgers.
At the end of the day, who can control the animal,
and who can get Rodgers to
maximize the animal?
Exactly. It's got to be a Belichick type of person with that resume.
Yeah, he can scheme around it and get it done. I think.
Because, and no disrespect to Tom Brady, I think he's one of the GOATs. He's not my GOAT, but he's one of the GOATs. If he can do that and Brady's not athletic, let's just be real. Just imagine what he could do with Rodgers if Rodgers is not a diva.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying? Or if you got a superstar quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, whom they think, and a lot of people think he's still a top 5, top 10 quarterback in the league, if things are getting ready to get shook up in Dallas, you got to go get the coach he won with. You got to go get McCarthy.
That's true. That or
you got to at least investigate if you the Jets. What you got to lose?
You got to do it diligence. You got to see if he's available.
Yeah, because you got to start thinking about that in a sense. And maybe they didn't know that the Cowboys were going to look this bad. They don't know we don't even know if Jerry's going to do anything. He may stick because he likes McCarthy. But we can't help but to think that Jerry's contemplating making a coaching change, whether that be now or later. You know what I'm saying? So it may be that it play out for the Jets. Go get McCarthy the last time this dude won, and just go get Devontae Adams and go all out.
Because now that you mention it, them Cowboys looking more and more like they done quit on McCarthy anyway, to be all the way honest.
And he might warrant a change in Dallas.
Because think about it. He done paid Dak long. He done paid CD long. He done paid all these boys long. He done brought Zeke back.
And what do we know about Jerry?
He's sticking with his players.
And at the end of the day, if things are not working, he going to take it on in the chin.
Jerry done got rid of good coaches.
Exactly.
For less.
Jared, anybody to get rid of Bill Parcells?
Yes.
And the Cowboys were winning?
Yes. Bill Parcells, Barry Switzer.
Right.
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson.
After 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So I know that's an outside of the box scenario, but y'all need to hit that like and subscribe on that scenario that I just put up there.
When we see any traction on this,
available.
Let me just speak on that. We see any traction on this, we coming for your ass. DWB coming for your ass.
Exactly.
If this happens to materialize, GMs, I don't know this.
And that's just me thinking outside the box. Shout out to my man Chuck, man. We got to think outside the box, but that could play out.
That could play out.
It could play out. That's a long shot. I mean, other than that,
I don't think so.
You got
really how it makes sense, bro.
And if you don't do that, you got to promote somebody on the staff that I think is all about Rodgers. I really do, because I just know what I've heard about him. He's a diva. It's just the fact that he's been able to operate like that because he's so good. And if you New York, and how much you got left, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. So, it might be a connection between Green Bay and Dallas. But anyway, I don't know. Let's just think about it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Now, if this plays out, don't y'all go and take credit without giving us credit here on DWB. All right. Let's go. Chuck, let's go ahead and hit our sponsor segment, and then we'll get through the rest of the National Football League. But don't treat us right. If you got it from us, give us our credit. Give us our points on the record, like they say in the record business, right?
Be like Big Mo, that's fake, bro.
Right.
That's fake.
Right, like Suge say. You ain't got Suge told Vanilla Ice in them. I ain't got paid, and my client ain't get paid. And we ain't getting no rights on that record. With that being said, we better get our credit on DWB. Let's go to the sponsor, Chuck.
Yo, rep the movement with Most Serious Fashions. Copy your fresh snapback or hoodie or a tee. All represent the Mo City Podcast, Debate with Bake, or Gloves Up, Guns Down. Everything is custom made with love from our top-notch manufacturers. We got a dope range of colors and sizes to fit your vibe. Everything from blue, red, green, black, white, and more. Rep the Mo and keep it fresh, fam. Hit up moseries.com/merchandise and order today. Let's go.
Stop. It's COVID, flu, and RSV season. Boost your immune system now.
Fortress was developed to provide key ingredients that provide such aid to the body's immune mechanisms.
So how do I fight COVID, the flu, and RSV?
So our job isn't to defend ourselves from things, it's to help support our body's natural immune system to begin with. And when you look at Fortress, that's exactly what we're after. Individually sourced ingredients that have been demonstrated to support our natural immune system and help our bodies just do a good job at what they're naturally meant to do. And that's why Fortress is a very nice combination of these independently sourced ingredients that can help support a healthy immune system.
Learn more about Fortress and natural ways to boost your immune system by clicking the link.
Men's Fragrance, your home for 100% authentic men's cologne. We carry high-end fragrances like Creed, YSL, Gucci, Polo, and more with below retail prices. All orders come with free shipping. Order online at mens-fragrance.net. Men's Fragrance. Smell good for less.
That's right. Check those ads out. No sponsorship on moserious.com. Shout out to my man Chuck for the business model. And go support us, man. Go on moserious.com. Don't just celebrate DWB, even though you are tuning in to DWB. Go in and check out the other acts. You can get some smell good. And of course, I'm talking to the 40-plus crowd. I don't know about y'all, but I love to wear the sweatsuits. I'm about to get me a sweatsuit for the fall, because when you get older, it's all about comfort. I got a nice pair of shoes that's going to go with that. And shout out to that, because you know what, y'all? Coming in the future, we talking about a shoe podcast. So we might even be able to put that jumpsuit on there that I'm talking about with a nice pair of shoes. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Go to moserious.com, smell good, feel good, and dress good. All right, let's get into it. The NFL, the National Football League. There you go, Chuck. Just put it in front of the camera again, Chuck, because I need some of that anyway. Sometimes, we get into the cold and flu season. Check it out. Check on your health, especially people our age. I'm talking about 40 plus. All right, no disrespect, Shayla, but that's for 40 plus. Shout out to Shayla. We miss you. The first to the younger crowd, we need you back on DWB Debate with Bake. All right, let's get into it. Current NFL topics. All right, now I was sitting around. I'm always sitting around thinking about topics. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. But I wanted to ask this question because I'm looking around the NFL right now and I'm like, you know what? There are guys who are reaching that last 3 or 4 years in their career who don't have rings, who pushing for it. And I said to myself, who is the best player in the NFL right now without a Super Bowl ring? Now, that's a dangerous question because, again, it's a lot of guys that don't have a Super Bowl ring. But I'm talking about guys that actually still can play, who don't have a ring. Or if you want to bring up somebody who don't have a ring that's still in the hunt for a ring, even though they might not be that good. They might be what I was thinking about, Gary Payton with the Miami Heat, that type of status. You know what I'm saying? So put this question to the chat, to the panel. Shout out to my man Cole. You missing this because I know you would think about somebody off the wall in New York. But let's get into it. Now, Ro, it's a difficult question.
Facts.
Difficult question. But if you could think of one off the top of your head right now, currently, anybody in the NFL right now that you think is still good or the best player without a Super Bowl ring?
I got 2 off top.
All right, go ahead. You might. Top. I know you. You probably stole mine, even though you don't even know what mine is.
2 off top.
Bro, always gonna get the one that I got.
2 off top.
And I'm gonna be stuck without a debate. But go ahead, Ro.
2 off top. First, we're gonna pull up on the coast. That Samuel Lamar Jackson is the best player right now in the NFL without a ring. The best in the NFL without a ring. Second, followed by. I'm gonna shake this up. It's hot take.
I wouldn't even think about Lamar Jackson.
We gonna stay in the crib. CJ Stroud. There's the other player. And the second other player that comes to
young no role, but
no, right. He got much more. But
right.
We talking about top player without a ring right now.
Okay, I gotta throw him in the top player. That's a little bit of home cooking, but I do. Yeah. I get what you're saying because he is surging. Shout out to my man CJ. I ain't gonna lie. I got a confession. I didn't know he was this good.
Yeah. Facts.
I did not know he was as good.
I thought he was another Justin Fields, Ohio State quarterback.
Yes,
and he is really.
Hey, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You didn't take mine, but I ain't gonna even lie to you. This sounds crazy. How am I gonna be on a sports podcast and did not think about Lamar Jackson? I'm gonna tell you who I thought about.
Who?
On his team.
Who?
Derrick
King Henry, yeah. I was thinking that too, but I got a couple running backs out there that when
I was thinking Derrick.
I got some boys on defense too. I thought about honorable mention, but I thought them two right there.
I didn't even think about Lamar when I was thinking about this topic, and
because he got a lot left. You talking about somebody,
right? And for me, this sticks out. Henry sticks out because, like Lamar, how long has Lamar been in the league now? 6-7 years.
6-7 years.
Okay. I still say, people are going to think I'm crazy when I say this. I still say Lamar still has a chance to get better. I don't know how.
No, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? The way he's playing right now.
I totally agree.
But I'm looking at Henry, and when I write on here, NFL right now without a Super Bowl ring, I'm looking at Henry like Henry is within the last, I would say, 3 to 4 years. But the way he's taking care of his body, it might be longer.
Because, see, Henry should have got a ring back in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying?
At least contended for one.
At least contended for one.
They let him down. And Tennessee got an answer for that because when you got somebody like that was doing what he was doing in Tennessee, they should have built around it and they should have swung for the fences, much like the Jets are trying to do. I never saw that from Tennessee, but I had in my mind Derrick Henry. But, man, and Lamar is so easy. He really is. Like, top tier. Guy that don't have a ring?
Best player.
Right. I didn't even think about that.
He had 2 or 3 but for Patrick Mahomes. You
right.
know what I'm saying?
Right. No, you're right, man. I didn't even think about that. I'm thinking about the same team, the Baltimore Ravens.
So it's like I get the bums out there in Hollywood and Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
That's the best around. Ain't got a ring yet. Yeah, bless their heart.
Right, and the thing about Dak is though, just get to the NFC Championship.
You feel me?
Game, you know what I'm saying?
Let me get out the first round. Let me get out that wild card round, baby.
I was trying not to say that too. I really was trying not to say that.
Facts.
You know, Chuck gonna make me talk about that today. You know, I didn't want to talk about
We
that.
got to.
Because it's so easy.
We got to.
And I don't want to make it seem like because I am sitting in front of a Houston jersey.
It's controversial. It's kind. I mean,
that's the thing. That's like I don't want to get on them because it's too easy, but I gotta get on.
Yeah. At the end of the day, are we really biased?
Exactly.
I mean, come on. They wore us out for years.
For years. Bro. They talked about us when we didn't have a team. We're going to get to that, though. When we get down to this week's recap, we're going to get to that. All right. Let me ask you this question right now.
D-Hop.
Throw him in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Deserves a ring.
And that's the thing.
Deserves a ring.
He still can play. He still can play. Like, I ain't even much lie to you. I'm going to talk about this team right here. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, because they were here in the Houston Rockets. And I'm going to make this plea right now, Chuck. Houston, when it comes to your teams and players in the past, do the right thing and let Hopkins be a part of this so he can get a shot at a ring. I'm asking the Texans to make this plea, because I love DeAndre Hopkins. Bring him back to Houston. He has a chance to win now. You guys let Dream go to Toronto and get wrapped up like Master Splinter with all that tape on. I was very, very disappointed. He should have retired as a Houston Rocket. And I ain't talking about, that's what we do in Houston. I ain't talking about, let's just bring him back for one day and we're going to give him a jersey.
Him here.
Right. No. Let him play here. Y'all did the same thing to this man. That's why I'm pointing at this. Yeah. Y'all let him walk out.
But I was in Kansas City.
Exactly. All places.
And Seattle.
Right. You know and then you bring him back. We're going to let him retire here. We got the Warren Moon Day. Yeah. Like, come on. Do the right thing.
That's not how you treat your star.
Do the right thing. Because here's the thing. Even more than Andre, he really got slept with bad quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Do the right thing. Bring him back. He's probably going to be at a reduced role. Bring him back. Bring him back. Give him a 2-year deal. Bring him back. We surging right now. We got a shot. I think right now,
we need veterans.
Right. And even right now, even if he doesn't do that much on the field, he could teach our young guys how to be receivers. Right.
He got a whole young core who he can be a vet too.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. He can still play. Yeah. He can still give us quality possessions. And for all those years that we didn't give him the right quarterback, this is we messed up.
Well, look,
come back.
We took him away from the quarterback he liked. And that was the downfall of Deshaun, team, and the whole organization.
Right.
The Clemson.
Yeah, because this is the payback.
Like, and then that's how you pay back Andre too.
Exactly.
Andre is an ambassador for the team. Bring Hopkins back. Give him a chance to get a ring.
Andre ought to be a receivers coach right now.
Exactly.
And you know what I'm saying? I mean, for real. There's a lot of ways.
But that's another good one, Chuck. Hopkins is in that. He's one of the best players. I think so. I mean, there's the whole slew of them we could talk about. But anyway, all right, I got a quarterback debate because I need to know this right now.
So you got a quarterback debate in the comments. This must be from a Cowboys fan.
Uh-oh.
She say a Dark Horizon. She says, who you say is better, Romo or Dak?
You want to go first?
I go first. Right. I go first. I'm gonna go on a limb and just firing from the hip. I got to ride with Dak just simply because I mean, from what I remember about the runs, Dak is putting up at least the numbers.
The regular season numbers are there.
The regular season numbers are there. Dak is performing where it's like the blame can't be squarely laid on him at all.
There you go. I'm going to follow up with that. That's exactly what I was going to say. I don't mean to cut you off. But to follow up on that, because I was going to say that, to follow up on that Dark Horizon, here's the thing. What you got to remember about Tony Romo is this. See, Dak Prescott, everybody he came from a bigger school. People kind of knew who he was. Tony Romo came on the scene because nobody knew who he was. There was no game plans for him. He showed up, and then it was like, okay, now that you're not a secret no more, we started game planning for you in Dallas, and then he was not I never thought he was as much as they hyped him up to be, but he was the quarterback in Dallas. And he fit the mold. I ain't going to get too detailed about that, but that's exactly how they wanted that quarterback to look in Dallas. All right? Let's just be honest.
I ain't going to lie. Quincy Carter, the best quarterback Dallas had in a while.
In a minute,
you know what I'm saying? Honest, I remember that.
To be honest with you, and I'm going to follow up behind Road Dark Horizon, and thank you for give us that like and subscribe, but thank you for joining in on this conversation. It's got to be Dak Prescott, because regardless of what you say, how you feel about him, he has multiple seasons. He's accumulated multiple seasons of 12-5 records, winning the division, getting to the playoffs.
MVP numbers.
He's been in MVP discussions. Even just flat out, I think they've had first round buys because they've won the division under that. The problem with the Cowboys and the Cowboy Nation, and I'm assuming, I'm not going to assume you're a Cowboy fan, but you did ask a Cowboy question, Dr. I'm not going to say you're a Cowboy fan.
With all due respect.
Because shame on you if you are. But if you are, it's okay. But if you're not, it's the expectations y'all have. And the thing y'all got, and we're going to talk about that later when we get to the Cowboys, is when does it start to be Jerry's fault?
Oh, man. Yeah, I love to see Jerry fail.
Because he is the general manager. He is the general manager. So, great question. We answered it. Please keep tuning in, because we could talk all day about it. I try not to, because it's too easy, but I have to today. But we'll get to that.
Look, they trending, fam.
Okay. You're right. I got a secret to tell y'all. I argued with Chuck all day on the chat, because Chuck was like, we got to talk about this. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. He's like, we got to talk about the Cowboys. I'm like, why? Like, they got beat. And there was another topic that we got to. So I argue with Chuck. I argue with my producer all day, but he's right. Cowboy fans are tuning in. So hit that like and subscribe for DWB. I hate to admit that the Cowboys are getting me ratings. But ladies and gentlemen, just a word of advice. If you're a host, listen to your producer. Because I lost today on majority rules on these topics, because I did not want to talk about the Cowboys, because y'all not worth it to me. But thank you, Dark Horizon. My producer and my co-host were right. Shout out to them. All right, we're going to come back to the Cowboys.
And that's a guy, our bad.
Oh, my bad. If we said she, we apologize. Thank you. Thank you for correcting us, and thank you for tuning in.
We all about our pronouns, dog.
That's right. That's right. And keep asking your questions, Dark Horizon, because we're about to get to another topic. That's a dude, but he's a Cowboys fan. H-Town dude. That's right. That's right. That's right. See, my producer is just, you got to listen to your producer, man. Shout out to H-Town dude. Shout out to Dark Horizon. All right, let's move to another debate. If y'all want to keep talking about the Cowboys, we can. But we're going to move to another day. We're coming back to the Cowboys. All right. I need to know this right now, because it's a lot of good young quarterbacks making it happen now in the National Football League. Shout out to Trey Austin, because he asked me that today. Are y'all going to talk about these young, exciting quarterbacks? What I want to know, and I have this here, hit that like and subscribe, and please comment in the chat. Is Jayden Daniels better than Caleb Williams right now, or is it vice versa? What you think, bro? Who is the best quarterback now out of those two? And then we can talk about others, but let's stick with them.
Solely,
both of them won yesterday, right?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Solely off of a performance-based evaluation, I would say I would go for the obvious money and just agree that yes, Jayden Daniels is performing slightly better than Caleb at this particular.
So you saying right now?
Right now.
Numbers. Value to the team.
The system that they run in, the system in place.
Jayden Daniels is better.
I think so. I think so.
That makes sense, because I'm glad you said that, because I was going to ask you that. Are we talking about now or overall?
Because I'd say overall, it's like Caleb Williams is still the overwhelming better talent, I'd say. It's
he probably got the deeper bag.
There you go. Tools. There you go. Right. Because it's like Jayden Daniels. I mean, the hats off to his coordinators, whoever's got their scheme.
They are doing a great job in Washington.
It's great right now. And right now,
a great job.
Dallas fans are sick. That
That's
division
right.
is crazy.
That's right. That's right. In fact, Chuck, I think Washington has only lost one game this year, right?
Yeah. They got to be in the driver's seat of the division.
Because I was going to ask that question.
Them in Philly.
Yeah. Okay. So right now, I would agree with you. I think Daniels is playing the best. Now, Caleb looked good yesterday.
Oh, real good. And against Jacksonville?
Yeah. But it's Jacksonville, though.
He threw like 4 touchdowns.
Exactly.
220 yards.
And here's the thing, and credit to them, because I told everybody this. I told my cousin in the barbershop, shout out to my cousin Big Nate. When we played, the Texans, we played the Bears. And I've been telling y'all this about Minnesota all year.
That whole division.
That division is tough. I told everybody, we're going to beat the Bears, meaning the Texans, but we're not going to run through them. I think that division, and we got Green Bay this week.
Just coming up. Yeah, I was just about to say
but
and they're going to be tough.
Right. And I think Chicago is sitting at 4-2 right now with a rookie quarterback. They've already overachieved to me.
With no O-line, bro.
Exactly.
With no O-line.
Exactly.
That boy is taking what they give him.
Exactly. So I agree with Roe in the sense that Jayden Daniels is probably playing the best right now. But Caleb Williams is still doing his thing.
But it really kind of did it because it's like at the end of the day, the white boy look good. Drake May look good after they hit him. He rung his bell a couple times.
Yeah,
he put a couple passes on the
and then like, not to even mention, you're right about that. And not to even mention that.
So they stats kind of close. Give y'all some numbers, right?
All right, give us some numbers.
Add some context to this.
And these are numbers to Jayden Daniels and Caleb Williams.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So far this year, Jayden got 1,400 passing yards. Caleb got 1,300. Right? Yeah. Jayden got 6 touchdowns. Caleb got 9.
How many Jayden got with his feet? See, I
4.
Think 4.
He got 4 with his feet.
He's a better runner, I think, than Caleb.
He got 4 rushing.
Okay,
yep.
So is that the question? Do you think
Caleb don't have
now,
none rushing?
So right now, that goes to what you're saying. Presently, he's playing better. He's probably more of a dual threat quarterback.
Absolutely.
And that could be the role that Washington has in playing.
And it's like
last one. Jayden only threw 2 picks. Caleb threw 5.
Okay, so there it goes. So it
Caleb
sounds
is
like
probably the better passer,
right? And it sounds like, and I'm going out on a limb. It sounds like Washington is requiring, which is good for them, for Jayden to be more of a dual threat. Where Chicago may want Caleb to pass a little bit more. That could be the reason why Caleb has more turnovers.
They do. He's got that abysmal low line.
And he's got better receivers in Chicago, I would think.
You got a receiving core.
Right. So these two could possibly be, and Love. But see, Love is a young quarterback that's been in the league. Good point, Coach Trey Austin, because he is doing well. But we talking about rookies right now. But Love is in that class. Maybe sophomores or juniors.
Both them youngsters eating Love right now, though.
They might be. Well, Love is doing good. And we about to find out about Love this weekend. But anyway, that is another good young quarterback that's doing well. But I'm asking about these two because I think right now, these two are probably the front runners for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Right now. That could change. People are surging. But I think we did good on that. All right. Speaking of the Commanders, I'm going to put this question here. Who is the best one-loss team in the NFL? I think the Commanders only have one loss, right, Chuck? We only have one loss.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sticking with the easy money.
Houston Texans only has one loss. But on the heels, did Detroit lose 1 or 2?
Maybe 1.
Because they looked good yesterday.
They did. I was going to say, that's the only thing Cowboy did, right? They broke Hutchinson's leg.
Yeah.
They succeeded in
that. Sounds so bad.
It does.
It does. But I mean, they needed to get something, and they got beat 40-9 or something like that, right? At least they broke up the pass rusher. But who do we think right now? Let's go to the one loss. And Chuck, if you can, I'm looking it up too. Who are the one loss teams right now in the NFL? I know it's the Texans is one, the Commanders are another. Did Detroit lose 1 game or did they lose 2?
I'm pretty sure they only lost 1. I can't really place anybody else beating because Minnesota's still undefeated.
Minnesota's undefeated. Kansas City's undefeated. All right.
So
who we got? We got the Texans, the Commanders. We asking about Detroit. Is Detroit still a one-loss team, Chuck? Chat, you can add in too. Right now, yeah. So right now, 3 days ago.
Yeah, it's only
it's
Detroit and Houston.
Texans
are the only one-loss teams.
And Commanders. Did the Commanders lose yesterday?
Yeah, Commanders were 4-2.
Baltimore got them.
Okay, Baltimore did beat them. So it's us
and Detroit.
Okay. Well, that narrows it down. You think it's best out of
Boy, they played yesterday, bro.
Yeah, it's like I got to.
Hold on.
Riding with the home team.
Hold on. But let's keep this in perspective because
riding with the home team.
I don't want people to just jump on Detroit's bandwagon because they did what they did to Dallas. You got to think about this for the Texans. We win in New England, and even though they're not the same team, that's the first time we won in New England. Look how we did it.
See, and I'm not going to lie. We keep hitting these little loves. I've been real careful with my appraisal of our progress, man. And it's like we be playing well. And it's like, I understand Nico. I understand we had two people out on the defensive side of the ball the other day in the secondary. But I don't know. I need a complete game. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, we were rolling till we missed the first field goal, and then that compounded with something else, and we got a pick, and then it didn't cash in. Something happened.
And in fairness to that, we are a young team.
Yeah.
We're younger than Detroit.
So we just, Detroit is prime, right? They third.
Detroit been to the Super Bowl, right? Or they went to the NFC Championship?
They went close. Championship.
Okay, so I would say Detroit was further along in the process than us.
Dan Campbell got them boys humming.
Right. They got that experience. I think they've established a culture. I think the Texans are still building theirs. Mm-hmm. Now, I will say this. Let's look at the losses. Mm-hmm. Minnesota handled us.
They humbled us, yeah.
Who did Detroit lose to? I think they lost to
I think
it was a close game.
It wasn't Stafford and them, was it? He didn't lose to L.A.
No, but they lost to somebody. Who did they – check that out for us, Chuck. Who did Detroit? Because I don't think they handled like we got handled by Minnesota.
Yeah, they just dropped the game.
Yeah, I just think they dropped the game.
And it might have been the first one.
I think it was. I think it was the first game. It might have been the Niners or somebody. It might have been the NFC Championship rematch, right? Mm-hmm. The first game they played.
They lost to Tampa Bay.
Okay, they lost to Tampa Bay. What was the score?
Baker Mayfield, 20-16.
See?
Close game.
Close game.
Shout out to Cole because his man's been playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
Baker been balling, dog.
Oh, my God.
All right. Hold on. Wait. I got to say this. All right.
Baker been balling, fam.
He been all right.
Baker been balling, bro.
That team
as a loaded on New Orleans yesterday.
Bro, Baker been balling, fam. Like, come on, dog.
He been playing good. Balling is CJ Stroud. No. He been playing good.
Okay.
He been playing good. He been playing good.
I'll take that.
I'm not saying balling, though, because he has.
No, I'll take that. If CJ Stroud is balling, then Baker been playing good.
To me, it's Lamar, CJ. Lamar, CJ. Of course, Mahomes in the class by itself.
Y'all excuse my host. I ain't going to lie. Baker ball. The producers here. Godwin had two.
No, because I'm gonna tell you something. And we'll look at it off the air. We gotta look at the loss. That loss they had, he played bad. Baker played bad, and that's the reason why they lost. Now, the other games he's played good. And that's why y'all gotta remember this. Like, Lamar doesn't have a Mike Evans. CJ Stroud, we think he might have a Mike Evans. Baker Mayfield has a Godwin on one side and a Mike Evans on the other side with a hell of an offensive line. And just look at that's why I keep telling you, I'm not hating on Baker Mayfield. Look at his track record. They had to put together what I think is an underrated team in Tampa Bay. Underrated. Stroud don't have that. Lamar, they had to work up to that. But Lamar still don't have a prime-time receiver. You don't have a 1,000-yard receiver.
I mean, we got Nico and Diggs, bro. We not like
but they not. But all right,
them niggas ain't like.
Yeah, but are they on the level of Mike? Mike Evans has had a 1,000-yard season every season since he's been in.
I think Nico on the way to be there.
On the way, not there.
But he didn't sat out 2-3 weeks, and he's still leading the league in receiving by 200 yards or so.
Yeah, but how many people in the NFL now? And I know the answer to this question. I just want to hear the right answer. How many people in the NFL right now can say that they've played with a 1,000-yard receiver on a team multiple years? Only one, Baker Mayfield.
It's a short list.
It's a
short list.
I mean,
It's
in
a short
NFL history, period. And no disrespect, Baker still got to get the ball to him. Not hating. I just can't put him in the category of balling right now. Some people say I'm a hater. Cole will say
I understand that. I can understand
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, all right. I'm going to say Detroit is the best number one loss team in the NFL.
I got to rock with that. I got to rock with you. Like I said, I mean, the crib, I'm sorry. I mean, like I said,
Hey, Trey coming at you right now.
I'm hard on us. Huh?
Read that comment. Trey coming
at you.
He coming at me. Look at the numbers.
My boy say Mayfield has been balling, Bake. Look at the numbers.
Yeah, because he got Mike Evans and Godwin. Exactly. If I had Megatron, if I had Jerry Rice and Randy Moss, yeah. Like, y'all stop, man. Like, let me ask y'all something about Baker Mayfield. What has he done since before he came to Tampa Bay? Don't worry, I'll wait.
He ain't done much. Like I
exactly.
Said, UT was dancing on that butt jersey.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like, he been balling, but let's just keep in context what's going on in Tampa. Tampa Bay has done a great job of putting the right players around him.
I think they got a stranglehold on that division right now.
Yeah, I think so too. But here's the thing, like, let me ask you this question, right? Who you think the best backup in the NFL right now, quarterback-wise? Is it Flacco? Is it Malik Willis? Who is it?
Nah, I rock with old Joe.
Okay.
I rock with old Joe.
All right. You rock with Joe. Let's just rock with Joe for this example.
Yeah, as a backup,
I believe this.
Oh, man.
This is how good I think Tampa Bay is. I think if you put Joe in Tampa Bay right now, they don't lose a step.
I can get on board with that.
All right.
I can get on board with that.
Okay. All right.
I can get on board with that.
Now, take CJ off this team and put Flacco in. Do the Texans do what they doing? And Flacco is good.
Probably.
Nah.
And I only say that because Flacco got way more experience than CJ.
Yeah,
he ain't got the talent level. He ain't got that.
Yeah,
but he got the.
But my point is
he
this.
He had
though.
the experience to come off the couch and
But
take niggas to the.
But my point is this,
he
though.
turned the ball over a couple times and
all right. Maybe Flacco not a good example. Let's go to another backup. Let's go to Malik Willis.
No.
Could he do?
Not at all.
So if you think if Malik Willis went to Tampa Bay, you take Baker off, you don't think Malik Willis, you don't think Tampa Bay still winning?
Nah.
You think Willis is bad like that?
He's not bad like that, but
okay,
neither is Baker. I'm just gonna say neither is Baker.
So you think Baker's better than Malik Willis?
Right now, today, yes.
Okay.
David, is that you talking about Russell Wilson?
What's up, Mallet?
So Mallet say Russ.
Russ what?
Well, I'm asking.
Out here?
So you asked about the backup.
Okay, this is my point.
That's a good backup. That's a damn good
No. This is my point. My point is this. I believe, this is just my thought. This and I'm only saying this because here's the thing. Up to Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield has not shown me to be a solidified starting quarterback. Now in Tampa Bay, he looks like one. But my point is this. If you take the top backups in the league and put them in Tampa Bay, I think they're doing the same thing Baker doing right now. The top backups. I can put that out there.
Maybe the top, like I said, they Mallet the saving grace because it's like you talking about a backup like Russell Wilson. Yeah. They hit the ground running. But
because Tampa, and y'all gotta give Tampa Bay credit. They have built a good team down there.
Who's the coach? The coach is Todd Bowles.
Yes. And he's a defensive-minded coach. Like, give them credit. Like, they can have a quarterback like Baker Mayfield because they got a stout defense and I know they got one Hall of Fame receiver on the outside.
I know the point you're making, right? So the point you're making is that, like, what's my guy in Frisco?
Purdy.
Yeah.
He could go over there and they could continue to do
exactly. Like,
see, I get on board with that. Purdy can do,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, and the only reason I'm not hating on Baker, I'm just saying, let's just stick to the facts. Prior to him being Tampa Bay, it could be argued that he was playing like a backup quarterback because that's what he was. Cleveland, he started because they drafted him. They had one good season. That team was loaded with Amari Cooper and all that.
Carolina,
they didn't make it. Carolina, I think he went to the bench. And then remember the Rams picked him up and he had that one game where everybody was trying to blow him back in there.
That's right.
And so prior to Tampa Bay, to me, he was a backup quarterback. Now, Cole want to sit on here, Trey want to sit on here and say the numbers look good, but let's give Tampa Bay credit with Todd Bowles. The defense, and then following from Brady won that championship down there, and we found out that team was stacked, especially defensively.
That's true.
That team was stacked.
That's true.
And all they did was slide Baker in that slot. Because here's the thing. Brady, as great as he was, he can't run. He can't get out of danger. How did they win a Super Bowl with a quarterback that can't run into facing today's defense? It's because that team was stout.
Well, then they signed they went and signed Big Boy. They had what's the name? Big Fournette. They went and signed Big
Yeah.
Man, and they
had White on the defense.
Yeah, Devin White was there.
Yeah.
I mean, they nice, but it's like this where the road
glorified backup. Before Baker Mayfield went to Tampa Bay, he did like that. Thank you, H-Town dude 32. Before Mayfield went, because I'm reading what he said. Before Mayfield went to that's what I've been saying. Dude, you got to come on the show. I already know you know football. H-Town dude 32, come on the show. That's exactly what I'm saying. Before Mayfield went to Tampa Bay, that has been my point. I am glad somebody sees it the way I see it because I've been getting trampled on about Baker Mayfield, and we got somebody from the outside that agrees. And I couldn't say it any better. Before Mayfield went to Tampa Bay, he looked like David Mills, a glorified backup. Thank you.
This year, that boy has 2 interceptions through 153 attempts, and he's tied for second with passing touchdowns.
Because the team is built well.
I can dig it, but ain't no glorified backup gonna step in and do no shit like that.
Yeah, it is. I'll give you another example. We had one here in H-Town.
No. Who?
Matt Schaub.
He ain't giving him shit.
Matt Schaub can do
Pro Bowl. He went to the Pro Bowl here.
He got Pro Bowl MVP,
right?
But he's trash.
You was talking about that was with Hop and Dre.
Yeah, but it's the perfect example because what did Schaub do outside of that team being stacked like that? Give us credit. We built a stout team around. Aaron Foster was at his height of his powers.
I don't fool with them Sooners, but Baker, you doing all right. I ain't gonna lie.
You can't agree with me that Baker ain't doing what Schaub did here.
Well, yeah, but the glorified backup is what I got a problem with. It's like,
but bro, that's the fact. It's not like I'm hating him. That's the facts. He wasn't doing nothing until he got here.
Like, could Flacco step in there and pull a miracle out the hat? Very possible. I don't know, but them numbers don't lie. Like them numbers don't lie.
But again,
that was his only knock.
I know, but that's what I'm telling you about the numbers. Matt Schaub had incredible numbers here.
He did.
I'm telling you, when you build, and that's what most NFL franchises do. The year the Rams won, who was over there? Just recently,
Stafford,
Goff.
Well, Goff was there right before, and they swapped him out, and then they won with Stafford.
So Stafford, they won a championship with Stafford, right?
Mm-hmm.
They stacked that team for him. He wasn't a great quarterback. They
stacked.
That's what I've been telling y'all on this podcast. Period. It's Mahomes, it's Lamar, and then everybody else. That's why I think Dak gets a lot of hate because you have to stack your team. Not everybody can do with the top quarterback. I think Baker Mayfield
Dak in on that team. And can you plug Dak in on that Tampa team? And
yes,
like that?
Yes. I think he's just as good as Baker Mayfield. He's done more in his career. You want to pull up the numbers with Baker Mayfield and Dak Prescott?
He's put up better numbers as a consistent starter.
We can say that for another show. I can do a whole show on that. You sure you want to debate that? Think about that. Really think about it.
He's got better numbers, but
that's what I thought we was talking about, the numbers. But I thought we was talking about the numbers, because if you want to talk about careers, he didn't been to the playoffs as a starting quarterback pretty much his whole career versus are you sure you're talking about Baker Mayfield? You sure you want to make that debate, that comparison? Yeah, we'll let you think that one over. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, now we'll let you think that one over. Yeah, think about that.
So check out Trey's comment before you move on. He say, Bake, you talking crazy. This man leads the league in passing TDs, topping passing yards, And Goodwin and Evans are good,
Okay.
but they not. If they Goodwin and Evans are good, but they are not the best two receivers in the league.
Okay, no, them are not facts, because here's the thing. I challenge anybody that want to support this, whatever this is, because this ain't facts. Let's see what happens when both of those receivers get hurt. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to the debate. When those receivers get hurt, let's see what Baker Mayfield, because regardless of what y'all saying right now, I got the facts on my side. Prior to Tampa Bay, he has done nothing with his career. They're not the best because of the way Mayfield is passing the ball around. So no one can really get double teamed if they got Oaten and White to check down. There you go.
Because of good quarterback play, really?
I don't think so.
Like, I mean, I'm just saying, if you spreading the ball down around, and then you checking down and they can't press you like that. I wonder how many times he been sacked. He just seemed like he running the offense remarkably well
with a great offensive line and a great
pass, but devoid of a running game, because I can't tell you who they back is.
Yeah, but you don't need that when you got a hell of an offensive line and you got two receivers that you can't double team nobody.
You always gonna need that though. Man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the facts is just this, y'all. Prior to him getting to Tampa Bay, he was a backup. Y'all know that. Like, come on now. Man, let's get off this subject, man. Y'all got me like I'm over here talking to Cole about Baker. I'm over here talking about Baker Mayfield. Come on, man. All right. Right now, we got to go do two more questions. And I can't believe y'all got me.
The league popping. The league popping, no.
I can't believe y'all got me over here talking about a team from the NFC South and all things like that. All right, now, no disrespect to this. Shout out to the Saints. All right. Which NFL team do y'all think right now needs to trade for Amari Cooper? First of all, can he still help a team?
I think so.
Okay, where do you think he needs to go? Who needs to be looking at Amari Cooper right now? Anybody you can think of?
Probably the Jets.
Okay. If they don't get Adams?
If they don't get Adams, if they could add both them boys, it wouldn't be, I mean, the way I see it, Amari he's in a contract year. His performance cannot be indicative of what Watson and what Cleveland has been doing right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't place any of that blame really on him and his performance, because he just hadn't had the targets. They hadn't really gotten him.
That's fair. Now, let me put you on the spot. I don't mean to interrupt you, because I want to get this point out. Now, we know Devontae Adams can go anywhere. Why? Because Devontae Adams is probably
an apex.
He's probably a number one receiver.
Mm-hmm.
That's
does Amari command that same?
Is Amari a number one receiver, or does he fit a receiving core as a complement receiver?
You know what? Dallas could use that boy too right now, to be all the way honest.
But he was already there.
Dallas could use him back. They shouldn't have parted with him in the first place.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I'm going to put you on the spot again. Why would Jerry, as proud as Jerry is, and Cowboy fans, please tell me this.
To save money?
So you saying to save money?
Did it with Zeke?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he ain't.
Them boy need to get that old thing back. I tell man, for real.
But the thing about it is with Zeke though, it's like, what did he pay $2 to get Zeke?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like Amari Cooper gonna be cheap. It's not like team gonna be beating that door for him. You got Cooks banged up. You know what I'm saying? They need a receiver to be all the way.
Is he gonna be a number one? So he's gonna compliment CD, right?
Definitely. I mean, he can't be.
So that's what I'm saying. You think Amari is a number one receiver, or is he a compliment?
I think he's a number two.
Okay, so he's a compliment.
He's receiver. A deuce, like the dump. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like you could use it. You know what I'm saying? And he still can get separation. He can still cause mismatch. He still got good hands. You know,
I got one out of the box. And I'm gonna say as a number two receiver, or he could probably be a number one receiver. People ain't gonna like this.
Tennessee?
Nah, Tennessee, they ain't going. Listen, leave them with it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk.
I had to drop Levis immediately on fantasy, bro.
Bringing up, what's their mascot? The Titans? Is that even? That's a Greek. Never mind. That's a Greek myth. That ain't even real. That's why they ain't gonna win. They left. They shouldn't have left. All right, look, I got one. People ain't gonna like it, but I think it can work because I like this quarterback, even though he's not living up to what I think he's not living up to his expectations. Send him to the Chargers.
Yeah,
I think Herbert, like,
he needs a target like that.
Like, isn't Harbaugh over there?
Mm-hmm. They could use him.
I just feel like the Chargers have not done Herbert a just due service for him.
And that's a cultural thing, because that was my other best player without a ring.
That's
Khalil
exactly.
Mack, man. I was like, Khalil Mack, y'all wasting all that, man.
How Cole is how some of these other delusional fans like Trey is about Baker is how I feel about Herbert. Yeah, but I actually have numbers.
Herbert is a stud.
Right. But here's the thing, chat and everybody. Trey, I actually have numbers to prove that Herbert is worth what y'all think Baker is. Herbert actually won a Rookie of the Year while Baker was on the bench. But anyway, I have numbers and facts. But why not send Cooper? Like, has he had maybe Keenan Allen, right? Has he had a number one receiver? When he was in San Diego?
Not a true one. Not a one that could stay, healthy. And
so why not send Amari out there?
And the thing is, that's been because it's really a cultural thing, like we touched on one other time. That's going back to Paul Phillip Rivers days. They didn't wasted a lot of the back time out there, and that's what I'm afraid for Paul. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like,
that's why I feel so
man, y'all
bad.
been flirting with a good team for so long. Y'all been on the cusp so long. It's like y'all had Drew Brees there. Y'all drafted Ryan Leaf. That was a disaster. Y'all had LT. Y'all done had Junior Seau. Y'all done had so many players in and out that camp that it's like, it's just a remarkable situation, because it's like, wait a minute, then y'all go swing for the fences. Y'all get an all-world defensive end, your best defensive end in the game at the time.
Is it Khalil Mack?
Nah, yeah, Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Y'all swing for the fences, get Khalil Mack.
I mean, he could have been an all-time player too.
Nah, this boy, the FBI gotta. Hey, where's he been? Where's Khalil Mack been? Like I said, I saw Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett out there on one leg.
Where's
Khalil Mack? Has there been a Khalil Mack site in the last 15, 20 years?
Oh my God. Where is Khalil Mack?
Y'all changing up time. Y'all in the witness protection program. Y'all switching up from San Diego. You know what I'm saying? I'm an old head. I'm looking back for old Kellen Winslow in them last time y'all won. You know,
Sean Marion.
Oh man, Sean Marion, the linebacker. Yeah.
Steroids.
Look, y'all boys just amass this talent, and then y'all play like y'all in California. Straight up, y'all play like y'all California. It's a regular season. It's all y'all play like the replacements with Keanu Reeves and
Chad, listen, where is Khalil Mack?
Straight up, we put an APB out on that boy. Missing person, milk carton.
He was mentioned with Watt. Man. Mentioned with the Bolsas. Where is Khalil Mack?
I saw him bull rush a triple team and throw.
Aaron Donald, he was in the same class with them.
Oh, absolutely. He was an even bigger threat. Even bigger than AD.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man,
we ain't even heard about him being arrested or nothing.
I wish that ball was in Chicago still with if he was in Chicago with Caleb and them still. Yeah. Boy, they'd have had two studs on both sides of the ball.
You're right. But they LA now. Yeah, I say send Amari to LA, man.
That'd be a good look. Yeah. That'd be a good look. Yeah. Or you know who else could get some burn? Minnesota. The rich get richer. You send them out there with Justin Jefferson to get some of that pressure off Justin Jefferson.
This is what you do. That could work. Because they might need a number two.
They need somebody to take some of the targets to keep their workload down on that ball.
They might need that. That might could work. It might even work in Arizona. I can't believe I'm talking about Arizona, but
Kyler could use him.
He could need another receiver.
Marvin Harrison Jr. got concussed and he was sitting out. You know.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Let's do one more topic in the NFL, then we get down to the NBA, and we get out of here. Which team has been more surprising to you within the first 5 games? Out of the Vikings and the Bengals. Who's been more surprising? Because the Bengals, even though they always start off slow.
See, that's so tough. It's kind of loaded a little bit because it's got the obvious answer and then the other answer.
That's exactly why I put this topic.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm saying, obviously, it's the Vikings because I've been high on the Vikings, but the Bengals look like they shouldn't even.
It's surprising that I didn't think it was going to go this well. That's why it's surprising. Yeah, I knew it would go better than we thought, but I didn't think it would go this well. They look in top 10 in the NFC right now.
Wasn't the kid supposed to start? He got hurt, and Darnell stepped in.
This was supposed to be McCarthy. So that's scary. If you had a team that y'all flirting with that well when McCarthy was granted the keys to the Benz, given the keys to the mansion,
And I wasn't high on him,
Man.
but I always knew Minnesota would be competitive. I told you I've been high on
these young
division.
quarterbacks killing. Like, what was he doing in camp where they saw that shit that early on?
Well, see, and that's the thing. It always goes back to when we talk about the Jets, because it's like maybe Cole said it. Maybe the Jets are cursed because he was out there.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get nothing positive out of him. Like, Cole actually had me believing that Darnell was just, he was done. Minnesota. And then he gets to Minnesota, and it's like
Minnesota might be cursed too.
Think about this, Ro. Think about this. Right now, we talked about this last week. If they were going to do a quarter of a season MVP award,
oh man,
he would be a candidate right now.
Definitely, almost a shoe in. Because it's not Jefferson. He been spread. He ain't been turning the ball over.
He only looked nothing like he looked in New York.
Hey, that was the biggest humbling. That was on the earlier season surprises. It wasn't how well it was.
I know.
How when
and I
got
like
humbled.
this dude, H-Town 32, man. He think just like me. See, and I feel like I'm not the only person on this podcast no more. Vikings, because Bengals are on the downward slope. I've been saying that everybody, that Ro ain't been hating on me. I get that to Ro, but Cole been hating on me. I've been saying the Vikings are good. Maybe, yeah.
Shout out to the homie. Like I said, he been saying
I've been saying
before Caleb.
Yeah.
Before we locked up with Caleb, that boy been talking about that division.
I told everybody the Texans are not going to blow out the Bears. They're going to beat them. But that division is tough. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago, and Minnesota. All good teams to me. Decent teams. But I would say it's probably the Vikings, like you said.
Minnesota and Detroit got some dates coming up.
Yes,
boy.
Sir.
That's going to be crazy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But how much do health got to do with this, though, right? Like Joe Cool and the whole crew over there, receiving core when Cincinnati just not good.
That's a good point but here's the thing about that. Some people that's a great point because they are hurt. They got some contract things. Yeah. But here's what I question about Cincinnati. They always start off slow.
See, and it's like Cleveland. You can't afford to start off slow in that division.
And you're in the AFC North. Now, here's the thing. And maybe I'm reading into this too much, Chuck. And I know the guy has some off-the-field issues. But I'm questioning the organization because it's like, it looked crazy that they let Joe Mixon go.
Yeah, still to this day. Because I'm telling you.
And then you got, is it Chase over there complaining about contract?
Jamar Chase and T.
Higgins. So it's something going on over there in that organization. Like, and I didn't think Mixon, I know Mixon had some off-the-field issues. But even yesterday, like, he looked like he could be the best other than Henry. Man. He looked like he could be the best running back in the AFC.
Let me tell you, because I got they back in fantasy.
Yeah,
I got him.
And I always thought Mixon
13 yards and a fumble later.
And I didn't want to think that about Cincinnati. And I could be wrong, but I'm like, why don't they hand the ball out to him no more? Because he did good in Cincinnati. Yeah. But it's like if they would, and I get it, they believe in Burrow. They do have a great, what people thought was going to be a great receiving core. It still remains to be seen, but it's like, it's something going on over there that's not, it'll come out.
I think they're culturally bad. They culturally bad.
It's something about the culture, whether it be the GM, something is going on over there. Like they can cover it up with Burrow because he's a high talent. And he did exceed everybody's expectations by them going to the Super Bowl. They beat Kansas City, so everybody blew that up.
This looking like Ocho Cinco and Hushmanzada and them and Carson Palmer and them team. No, I'm serious. It looked just like the Bengals always look. A couple of stud receivers on the outside.
They were talented, but they would always underperform. Get knocked out in the first round.
There you go.
Get blown out in the first round. Make the playoffs.
Don't even contend for the division.
Right.
Make the Super Bowl one year and then don't even make the playoffs next year. It's like, that's how that go, huh?
Read that, Chuck. What H-Town dude say? If you think about it.
Yeah, so if you think about it, Sam Darnold ain't have a player like JJ. And so is JJ making Sam Darnold good, or did he have it in him already?
That's a good question.
I think the team was set up for JJ to succeed, you know what I'm saying? But
they
Sam
got
Darnold
skill sets, right?
I don't think so.
Are they the same?
White boys with a big arm, you know what I'm saying? That's really all it is to it, you know what I'm saying? And I arguably, I guess Darnold is finally making good throws, good decisions. He's not underperforming. He's playing within the system, within himself.
Well, that's a good point. That is a good point.
Yeah.
Like you said, kids with big arms, because if you got a starting quarterback and you want to build your franchise around it, you want to build your team around it. Well, if he gets hurt, you want to keep that team consistent. You don't want to have to change it over.
Because, I mean, with JJ here, what are they maybe standing? Maybe 2 losses at this point. They still stout. They as good as Chicago.
And he does have a big arm. And Donald always had a big arm.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's fitting in quite seamlessly.
Well, it just adds to, I think Minnesota has done a good job culturally wise. That's a great point by H-Town.
It's like Andy Dalton over Bryce Young. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, man, I mean, you can't help these journeymen step in there and take care of business. You know what I'm saying? The youngsters don't want to perform. Hey. Look, somebody will do it. Yeah, I'll find somebody to do it.
Let's get to the association, man. That's a great point, man. Roll closes out on the NFL. That was a great point. Let's get to the association. Shout out to H-Town, dude, Coach Trey Austin, everybody that's been following, man. We appreciate that participation from the chat, man. All right, let's get into it. Let's get a couple of topics in the NBA. Well, let me go back because my producer said it. Let's talk about that.
Well, y'all kind of talked about it.
Did we talk about it?
We kind of talked about it.
Well, let me ask you this.
Shameful.
Let me ask you this. Because we talked about it.
Go off for a second. Go ahead.
Well,
I want to hear me get
but here's the thing. And I hate to say this for Dallas fans, but I think the problem is management, and you can't do nothing about it. He's not going to fire himself. Like, really, truthfully. If Jerry Jones had somebody that he could listen to, and they say, hey, listen, you still the owner. Let somebody be the GM.
Let the inmates run the prison.
And that's how he gonna look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to ask yourself, because, and that's what I wonder about Jerry, because it's hard to fire yourself, right?
Well,
right.
Not really when you pay like that. It's like, sit your old ass down, my boy. Sit your old ass down, my guy.
But that's the question, though. Like, does he have somebody that will tell him that he'll listen to?
Well, he doesn't. In reality, we know that he doesn't, but he should, because this has happened before.
Right.
He's had.
And here's the thing: they haven't been to the Super Bowl since the 90s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't have Jason Garrett. He had them yes man ass coaches in there. He could run all over. They don't perform for him. He get coaches that give him a little bit of traction and a little bit of pushback. He be ready to go on out there. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what AAU team, what Pop Warner team that motherfucker done really done got involved in, where he know football this well outside of signing some checks, outside of getting a stadium built.
Okay,
what do you really know?
Let me play devil's advocate, because I'm with you.
Like, this ain't the days when it ain't no salary cap and you go out and sign you a Dion, you sign you a Kenny Norton.
Right. But let me play devil's advocate, because I agree with you. I'm just trying to get the other side of the argument.
I hear you.
Would you fire yourself?
If I was paid anyway, if I ain't need a goddamn job, you damn right I'd fire myself. If I didn't need the job. If somebody could do the job better than me with my money.
But how does that go on in your head, though?
Because you save yourself money by letting somebody do this shit the right way instead of being wrong all the time and crying like an old bitch ass. Like, I mean, look, and I know it's tough, because it ain't really the Cowboys. It ain't really Cowboys. It's Jerry.
That's what I'm saying,
it's Jerry. That's the motherfucking problem with America's team. You know what I'm saying?
But how do you get the owners? See, and this is why I say owners.
You dig up Tom Landry. You dig up an old legend to tell him to sit his old ass fuck down. No, for real. They're like they got the cap. For real. You need the old Tom Landry cap. You need to get Hank Hill or somebody from I don't know, the propane sale. I don't know, dog. I don't know, because the thing is, at this point, why he still even got all that money? I ain't even read his motherfucking bio yet, man. Why does Jerry have all this money to burn? Why is he out there playing Monopoly and fantasy football with a real team?
Tycoon, man.
Oh, says all money. No wonder he ignorant. So he ignorant like Bud Adams and the rest of them. Like I said, it's a big.
Because here's the thing.
My filter is off. Levro is triggered.
But you're making a great point, because that's what a lot of people said about. That's the problem with the Raiders.
It is.
That's the problem.
Yes, indeed.
With the Oilers.
That's
with
right.
Bud Adams.
That's right. Mike Davis.
Al Davis stayed too long.
Oh.
He was the boss. Jerry. Some people say Jerry's falling into that same trap.
Yeah, you don't need nobody to be rolling you up in there with a goddamn iron lung and on a ventilator and all this shit. Talking about go Cowboys. It's like, shut your bitch ass up, man.
But because that's what I'm saying, and I got a rival to the Cowboys. because this is where Jerry's got to come, and Cowboy fans, you got to come to this realization. And
Wait till November. We're gonna
Hold on.
embarrass that ass.
And we're gonna get off this subject, but the rival to Jerry and what Jerry should look at is let's look at the Steelers, the
Roonies.
They just own and they let people. Now they are part of who they bring in.
Proof is in the put. Are they still the most winningest?
Yeah, I think so. But they own and they get out of the way.
Chuck Noll, Mike Tomlin, that's coaching excellence.
Exactly.
That's called segregation of duties. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, you got somebody.
So,
matter of fact, shit ain't start going right here till we gave the reins over to Caserio from New England. And now, all of a sudden, we got all these blockbuster personnel moves. And we get a Stephon Diggs and a Joe Mixon. People can do your job better than you, contrary to popular belief. You got to get out your own way.
Exactly.
You old rich bastard.
And
spread some of that change around.
And that's why the Cowboys, I think, are going to continue to do what they do.
Big facts. They curse too, quiet as kept. We're gonna call the Cowboys, the Jets, and in Minnesota, y'all might all be cursed. And the reason I'm picking on Minnesota is because of those booze cruise. The boys remember what I'm talking about back in the Cal. Culpepper and the boys on that boat. Anyway, that's another story on the day. You know what I'm saying? So
they got a chance to make that right. I just want everybody to know I do not support that because I am supporting the Vikings. We're not going to bring up the sex scandal.
It's my fault. Like I said, Jerry triggered me. That's all. That's all that was. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not the Cowboys, but it's that JJ, man.
All right, let's get to the association, man. Oh my God, this is hilarious. That make me like. All right, I got a couple.
Because I know they're gonna come for me. I'm ready.
They coming for you.
I know they're coming for you.
All right. We ain't gonna do the first one. All right. Been watching training camp. I got a question. I got a very important question, and I want, especially Coach Treyos, and I hope you're still tuning in. True or false? San Antonio Spurs will make the playoffs this season. Think about everything that they've done. The acquisition of Chris Paul. You know I'm high on the kid from UConn, the 6'5" kid.
Castle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they make the playoffs? And if they do, tell me where they at. Or in the top 4 or 5. What do you think?
I think they'll contend to win the division, and that will unfortunately still put them on the bottom half of the bracket, maybe 4 through 8.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe as high as 5.
Because that's the Central Division, right? That's us, them.
Yeah, Dallas might be there. Yeah, New Orleans might be in there.
See, you got Dallas and New Orleans in there too. And we're going to be better too.
Yeah, like everybody's good.
Yeah.
Everybody's good. So that's what I'm saying. Like on the high end, I see them maybe finishing 5th or 6th, maybe. Like but the play-in wouldn't even be a bad spot. But I do see them at it. I think they've done enough
to make the playoffs. I think they have too.
I'm done being
I think and the reason why I say that is because I like what they've done in the draft. I think Popovich, and here's the key. I think Popovich is I think the Spurs is the right organization for Chris Paul. And what I mean by that, they will not try to use him for 82 games.
Yeah,
he keeps getting hurt because everybody keep trying to use him for 82 games. I think because they're the ones that kind of started
and they had that experiment with Sochan and the funny points and all that stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's exactly
they kind of started the resting of the old players. Remember, they started that with Duncan. Mm-hmm. That's how they were able to preserve Ginobili and all them guys. Mm-hmm. So I think bringing Chris Paul on, and people gonna think I'm crazy for that. I think bringing him on in the capacity they're gonna have him in, they're gonna limit his minutes because that's what I said about Chris Paul. I think he can still play. But at the end of the day, you can't play him for 30 minutes a game.
I take it a step further. I think that might be Brun's only solution as well.
To preserve his career.
I think Brun, if Brun can somehow find a way to stop this wagon hitched in LA like he's doing and go on somewhere else, because it's not beneath him to sign with a super team.
Yeah,
you go team up with a Wemby and the
core there. That's the only place he can go.
That's really the only place you can go and get you a win and ride out. Real talk.
Right.
Real talk.
Well, he actually has a chance to win and they can preserve his career.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be a good mixture of young players too. See, the Lakers got him playing a lot of minutes, and he still got to be an integral part of them winning. But the Spurs is probably the last stop for him. All right, at their peak, let's do a history question. At their peak, Who do you think was the single most dominant player in the history of the NBA out of these choices? Wilt, Kareem, Mike, LeBron, Magic, Russell. Who at each of these guys' peak, who do you think was the most dominant? And this is hard for me because here's the thing. When I think about dominant, right?
It's a short list. I got 3.
The first thing that came to me is Wilt. I think Wilt.
See, and that's like with dominant not even equating to winning. So it's like I can't.
And then when I think about dominant, I think about Jordan's 87, 88 year, defensive player of the year and MVP.
Oh, we'll even do the 72-10 guys. It's like his peak was so long. That's what makes him so viable.
We biased.
Yeah,
we did see that. Those
and I throw Dream in there too. Even that 1 year,
the 93, 94.
Yeah, that one season. We come out that one season. Yeah. Even Dream is worthy of consideration,
and that would be considered his peak.
But
I could even and I was gonna put Dream in and maybe take out LeBron.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you can't knock the fact that LeBron still went to how many championships?
Yeah, he owned the East for quite a while.
For a while, he dominated. But here's the thing. People, and we got to remember this, people don't give Magic Johnson a lot of credit.
That's what I was going to say. Magic and Michael are the only people on this list deserve consideration about that because you're talking about their most dominant point. Magic couldn't be stopped, and it rolled all the way till it was confetti and champagne.
Magic probably had the most significant dominant run because Kareem was on the back end of his career.
Oh, man.
See, Magic, and that's a good point. You're right. Magic and Michael had errors.
And to do it from the guard position is
because even though Wilt was dominant, Wilt didn't necessarily win.
No, it doesn't equate to winning at all. Like I said, Shaq is arguably more dominant at his peak than even Wilt, and that's tough to say. A lot of people argue with me, but
if you look at who was dominant and they won, it's probably out of Magic and Michael.
Yeah. I'm talking about dominant, couldn't be seen, couldn't be stopped, like an unstoppable force. And you're talking about a point guard and a 2 guard. That's what makes it so
you're right.
Such an aberration of a list.
Okay. So out of Magic and Michael, because that's 80s and 90s, and it's biased. We biased, but Magic and Michael. Now think about this. Magic, man.
Yeah,
for Magic, I could say the championship game with Kareem wasn't there.
He's got that tricky prime because it's like, was his prime really from the rookie year? Was he really prime rookie year? Like, arguably, that was the best season anybody can say they had in the sport. The best 2-year run. We'll take it from that. From Michigan State to the show, and then you get a ring in both and step in, play 5, grab 15 boys, had like a monumental triple-double in the clincher.
And then run a decade in the 80s. And then don't forget this about Magic. Man, Magic won on every level.
Yeah.
Magic won a high school championship, a college championship.
Yeah.
And 5 NBA
championships. Mr. Basketball, or Mr. Basketball, the state of Michigan.
And then he won 5 NBA championships.
And revolutionized the position.
And Magic was there when Michael took over. Michael had to go through LA.
Like, think about Magic's signature move. To look away, like think his innovations are even overlooked tremendously.
Yeah.
Like
that's why I tell people all the time, it wouldn't be wrong if you put Magic as your GOAT. Now let's compare Magic's 5-year run to Michael's 6.
I like it. I can't lie. Like
who's more dominant though?
Depend on what is apples and oranges.
I'm gonna go with Magic. I'm gonna tell you what.
I'm gonna rock with you as well. I was thinking the same.
I'm gonna go with Magic, and I hate that because I love Mike is one of my favorite players. I'm gonna go with Magic simply because Chicago didn't have immediate success when Mike got there.
There you go.
When Magic got there,
instant
NBA championship. That's the only reason why.
I'm thinking, because it's like you want most dominant player, like top heavy, yes, going
and credit to Mike got better. Not saying that Magic didn't, but Mike didn't become what he was until he had to go through the Detroit
and he had to learn from Oak. He had to learn from George Gervin. He had to learn from
Magic came in dominating,
killing.
Even though he got smacked by the Celtics a bunch of times.
Nah, just twice.
But they still was at the top of their game in LA. So I'm gonna roll with Magic. A lot of people because Magic
can beat you so many different ways too.
Right.
And then Magic plays defense too. He's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan, a problem as well in his own right.
All right. Let me ask you this question, and then we get. It's been a great show. We've been having a lot of participation, so we couldn't get to all the topics.
No doubt.
But the NBA preseason is here. We'll get to that. All right. I gotta ask this question because I want to know what you value. I've been having this topic. It's an optional topic. I've been having this topic on the show, and I hate it because Chuck put the whole thing up here, and I should stick to the topics that Chuck put on here. But the show been so great that it's like you got to roll with the flow. The crowd is involved, and so we got to roll with the crowd. But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. I got to know this question. Who had the better first triple-double? Now, Mike, January the 14th, 1985, 35 points, Michael Jordan, 14 rebounds, 15 assists. Or Shaq, November the 20th, 1993, 24 points, 28 rebounds, 15 blocks.
Oh, man.
Which triple-double do you prefer?
I got to go with the big man.
The big fella?
Just the big man. Yeah, the big man. Because it's like Shaq was drafted, 92?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like both of them are pretty early in when they got that, not that first one, but it's like, look how dominant and impactful the game is that. 24 points, 28 boards, and 15 blocks.
I think the blocks put him over.
Yeah, 15 blocks.
Because that involves, he dominated both parts of the game, offense and defense, both ends, right? 24 points, which is, depends on what the 24 points look like, which is probably a bunch of dunks. 28 rebounds.
Because you know what, and because Jordan's career highs in each category was so much greater than that, like he might have grabbed 20, 25 boards one night. He might have scored 60, 61, 63 one other night.
Yeah.
And now, granted, not on the same nights. We talking about the best game, the best triple-double game, which is understandable. But I think that he progressed. He posted probably closer, better since then. He might even been in it with a quadruple-double. Is he or just Alvin Robinson and Dream? Alvin Robinson and Dream?
Yeah.
And David Robinson.
Right.
Maybe don't. Okay, well.
Right. I say the 15 blocks.
That's put him over the top.
That's got to change the trajectory of a team. All right. Let's go to the WNBA. Chuck, let's pull up game 2 of the WNBA finals. Let's talk about that. We got the Liberty versus I cannot say that Minnesota's
the
name.
Lynx.
The Lynx. Yeah. I don't know why I want to say the Larks or something like that.
Shout out to Stewie, boy. Like I said, she's so ugly, boy. She's adorable.
Hey, that was kind of a shot.
It was. But it's all love. Like it's all love. They got a fan in me. I've been checking it out, bro. I've been tuning in.
So game 2, series is tied right now, Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mm-hmm. All right. Give us the game 2 stats. Let's talk about that because, oh man, here's the thing. I think New York is going to win.
I want New York to win.
I love
them Lynx. Collier.
I love the Collier.
Yeah, Collier. Oh man,
that's what I was arguing y'all in the chat about. Like, I ain't gonna talk about the Fever.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, they had me hot when they beat Asian them. I ain't gonna lie, like they earned my respect when they beat Asian them.
Which could happen, yeah.
It can happen. You can try the season.
All right, so let's talk about New York. What did Stewie end up with that game, Chuck?
24.
21.
Yep. And then who was the next? Was it Sabrina or who was it? They got another big girl in the middle. I love her.
No, it was I can't say that name. Hamilton. Last name Hamilton.
Okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. And then who's the leading scorers for Minnesota? Collier.
And the face of Collier be going in, bro.
Yep, she had 16.
That's all.
So it was a more consoled. It was more. But the Liberty dropped them the last one, huh?
No, Liberty won game 2.
The Liberty won game 2.
Yeah, okay. Minnesota won game 1.
So the third game goes back to Minnesota. Minnesota is the top team, right? The better record, right? Okay. All right. Now let me ask y'all this.
Man, well, he gonna be careful.
Shout out to Stewie. Stewie was the stat filler. That's why they won.
I know that.
She took that loss.
I know that. But who's better
in overtime?
Who's better out of Stewie and Collier right now?
Oh,
See, I ain't know it.
You know what? I go on a limb and have to go and rock with Collier, man. She's really playing on both sides of the ball real well. She's grabbing boards. They operating like a finely tuned machine on defense. I hadn't seen nobody do that to Sabrina Ionescu and Stewie. The way they clamped down on them in game number 1 in the first game, whichever game went to overtime. That impressed me a lot.
Right.
Like you said, I mean, Collier was the lead.
And here's why I asked that question, because it's not so much I agree with you. I think Collier is better at this point. But I also want to bring up the point, I think Collier has to do more. I think New York has the more well-rounded team. I think, for me, I know Stewie is going to get points. Because that's what
getting everything.
Yeah, but the thing about it is,
I know she had a trait like that.
But who's
the question? She might be a better shooter than Collier.
Yeah, but the thing about it is Minnesota relies more on Collier. I think Breanna, all Stewie got to do is score, because I think New York is better. I think New York got more people that can do more things. See, I think for
no, because if she don't get them clutch blocks the other day, they lose.
Who?
Yeah. New York. Yes, Stewie got 2 clutch blocks. And they about to lose that game.
Yeah, but that's a big play at a big time. I'm saying for Minnesota, I think New York, I think Stewie, those are big time plays that they needed at that time.
She had 7 steals.
Okay.
Stewie?
Yesterday.
But Collier still has to do more for Minnesota to win. I think.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think New York has a more well-rounded team.
Because New York reminds me of Kobe and Shaq a little bit with Ionescu, with Sabrina and Stewie, and the way they run that two-woman game. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
Minnesota got the chick, their point guard, the short-haired chick.
They nice. They
was number 2 for a reason.
Yeah,
was it somebody named Thomas on that team? No, that's somebody.
No, I know who you're talking about. I still think New York has a better team. I think New York has a more well-rounded team. And just the fact that y'all know I'm high on Las Vegas. I feel like New York should take this series, because I feel like the same reason why New York beat Las Vegas, I think they should be stomping a mud hole in Minnesota. I think Minnesota is not as good as Vegas. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah. Vegas is a more dominant team. For me, I had whoever won the New York-Vegas series champion.
So are you high on Vegas or you high on Asia?
I'm high on Vegas.
Okay.
Both. I'm telling you, Kelce Plum, no joke.
And they got some hoops. I talk about Asia because I feel like not enough people talk about her like I think they should. But that team is good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that in any way. That team is good. I had them pick to win it all. But I also did say, because New York wasn't getting – Las Vegas was getting all the press.
Mm-hmm.
New York wasn't getting it, but I knew New York was good. I just didn't know that they were that good. The way they beat Vegas –
yeah,
it was tough.
And I think who won that series, I just think they're better than Minnesota. I think the Collier kid has played out of her mind for Minnesota to get to where they at right now.
Yeah,
and I think she
she was the MVP candidate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And she won
and they knocked them off.
And see, that's my thing.
Exactly.
And that's my thing. She only had 16 points the other night, right? I think she has to have 20 or more for them.
I think she did that in game 1. They stole game 1.
There you go. Yeah. That's my point. I think that's why it goes back to my point. I think she has to do more for Minnesota to have a chance to beat. Now, if Stewart continues to have games, 7 steals and all that, I think they wipe Minnesota.
You know what's funny? They got like the same culture that the Timberwolves got, apparently. It's like some kind of way it's a small market team. They got a couple studs. They got an Ant-Man, you know what I'm saying, over there, if you will, like that.
And it could be management, because, usually NBA teams usually own WNBA.
Exactly. And
shout out to Fertitta. He running the play. He got him. He trying to get the comments back. And so.
And I hope he's successful at that. But I hope he doesn't. And I don't think he'll do this.
So you don't say what I think you're going to say.
But don't try to replicate that. That was a special team.
Yeah, he bought the licensing and everything.
I know, but don't be thinking you're going to go find a Cooper. Don't be
no,
thinking you gonna go
it's
find
different.
a team.
They're at least different now.
Right.
At least different now.
Because I think
Kim
that
Parat, that's
another reason why, and I don't think he'll do that. That would be delusional.
I mean, you got some jujus and some chicks in college who ready.
Yeah.
Have the Comets got their 30 for 30 yet? Have they done the 30 for 30?
They've done a small one.
Okay.
But not a per se ESPN. They've done one online.
They need that.
Yeah.
They need that.
Well, and see, that's why
there might be some we need.
Well, that's why I tell y'all. It's not Clark. That's what I tell y'all. That's why I think the WNBA drops the ball. Why isn't it a 30 for 30 on the NBA, a WNBA franchise who won 4
inaugural 4?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why isn't it?
Yeah.
Why wasn't
like
it
the first 4?
Yeah. Why? And that's
talking about had the best players, drafted the best players,
right. And then consider this,
and you a defunct organization,
right? And consider this. At that time, and this is what I mean.
Largest city.
This is why I'm getting on the WNBA. I've been getting on them for years. They were trying to pump the sparks down everybody's throat.
Lisa Leslie.
Right. If you didn't know nothing about it, you would think that we smacked the sparks.
Easy.
How is it not a 30 for 30? No disrespect. Caitlin Clark has been doing her thing. But why isn't it a 30 for 30 for the Comets? Isn't that the most winningest franchise in WNBA history? Has anybody done anything close to that?
Man, the point guard, I think Minnesota had 3. Brain cancer.
Yeah, but they didn't have 4.
I know. You said anything close.
You're right.
That's adversity. That's the point guard had brain cancer.
And then not even that.
That's Kim Porter. What was the
Kim Parat?
Yeah, Kim Parat. Not even that though. You got to think about it like this. Our superstars, mainly Cooper, I'm talking about, they wasn't drafted. They went and got them from overseas.
Yeah, they've been putting in.
That's a special story.
Special story. Then they draft Tina Thompson, who ends up being like the 3rd great.
Exactly.
Like, man.
Exactly. So that's what I be getting mad about the WNBA. That's why I be getting on them, because they could do better than what they doing. Now, Caitlin might be the beginning that they might be doing better, because they did ride that college wave, which they supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But I just think they dropped the ball on a lot of players that deserve more press time. And maybe Caitlin is the beginning. Maybe that's what y'all saying. Maybe they turning the tide. Her and Angel are.
And they made the playoffs, right? So it's like not taking nothing away. Yeah, their hats off to Caitlin. But at the end of the day, it ain't no Jayden Daniels type of fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I parallel it to the NFL rookies, because it's like you see NFL rookies coming in at the quarterback position, leading the show, running the show, and instantly becoming competitive. It's like Caitlin then became competitive.
And then here's the thing. I see what they're doing. I understand why they're doing it. Like, let's just be honest. Like, let's be.
I'm gonna make it like wrestling. That shit
great. Not even that. But you also got to look at it like this. They kind of piggybacking off the college. So the college game, it played out perfect, because America, whether we want to admit it or not, about race.
Yeah. No, big facts.
It's the elephant in the room.
Big facts.
So nothing more fitting than a bunch of white Caucasian girls who are not as athletic as the LSUs, the South Carolinas. Look at the David, the all-white Iowa white girls that stayed in the backyard, didn't have nowhere to go
against Goliath, against
right,
Cardoso,
and they don't do nothing but play
literally
basketball.
White rural America,
exactly,
the black inner city, right?
Exactly. And so I had to hear in certain places, why is Angel acting like that? Well, Caitlin did this too.
And the thing is,
and America bought it.
Yeah.
Like, we all watched that game, because let's be honest, it's like they shitting on Angel and them because they from the hood.
Yeah. And it's flawed from its inception, because the thing is, it's like you can't pit the rural.
Exactly.
You got to go into the Mecca. You should have drafted the New York or somewhere like that.
And here's the thing. I'm all for it, because they did it with us with UNLV in the 90s.
LJ,
They did it with us with Georgetown with Patrick Ewing. Remember, they kept making us seem like John Thompson them had these big old mean brothers.
They did it with Michigan. They did it with
Duke.
Fab Five.
Until Grant came there, and they was like, okay, we do have a brother here.
They got a little couple.
So they you know what I'm saying? And then let's just be honest. Magic Johnson. Now, Michael Jordan elevated the NBA, but Magic Johnson and Larry Bird saved the NBA.
Yeah.
Well, here's a white boy from French Lick that everybody want to pull for. And then you got this showboat kid that's in LA. He's all flashy. He got all the women. Here's the hard worker. Here's the talented guy. Boom, we make the NBA. And they gonna rule the Lakers versus the Celtics. And it's like Isaiah Thomas said about Detroit. They don't get enough credit because they crashed at LA.
Yeah.
But they
the
sold America on the white. And even though Boston had black players, they highlighted Larry Bird and Kevin McHale and Bill Walton versus Magic, Kareem, and the brothers.
Have you been seeing that online lately where they had Bird was giving the 76ers buckets.
Exactly.
And called Dr. J.O. and then jumped his bitch.
Right. And so and I get it because the NBA did it. And I even said it on this podcast, and we'll wrap up. It's about time. I was for it because like the men, the women need the story rivalries. They need, you see what happened with Caitlyn and Angel. They don't like each other, even though they know each other. But they selling that story, and it goes to the WNBA. I get that. I get it because the men do it. You know what I'm saying? You want rivalries in the NCAA. What happened again? Duke versus whatever. I get it. I understand it. But I just feel like you had the Comets. That's not a dynasty. That's like the Spurs. Man. 5 championships. Man. Why didn't y'all? And why y'all ain't going back now? Y'all did a 30 for 30 on Maya Moore with her in the prison thing. Why y'all didn't do a 30 for 30 for the Comets? It might be answer to those questions. Why didn't y'all? Where nobody talks about Shamika Holdsquaw anymore. What happened?
Yeah, from Tennessee.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to all these players? Lauren Jackson. What happened? Why didn't y'all push that? And here we are now. I feel bad because Collier.
You know what?
Aja.
Are they still flying the banners in Toyota Center?
Probably.
The Comets banners?
They might. I don't know.
They should be. If they might not be, but yeah, they should
be.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I'm with the
Toyota Center or stay in Compact?
No, they was in Compact.
It was a Compact.
But they might have. Well, they might have gave up those ownership rights when they closed that down.
Well, and I think that's probably what Fertitta bought because he said he bought the whole rights.
That's what I'm saying. They probably shut those rights down.
So they might have them up there now. Right. They might be up there in that now.
Right. Okay. So, at the end, you're right. At the end of the day, that's what I'm saying.
Seattle got a team, and it just don't make sense. Make it make sense.
But at the end of the day, I just feel like, and I know they got to play up because the momentum is with these 2 girls coming out of college, Caitlyn and Angel. They got to play that up. I get that. But just pay respect to those who came before them.
You want to smash the WNBA? Have you a expansion draft, and you give us Caitlyn and Angel, and bring them down here to the new Comets. How about that? That's a
they would never let Caitlyn.
Of course they wouldn't do it. But it'll be that's the quickest time. That's the quickest avenue for Caitlyn to win because it ain't gonna be in Indiana or wherever that is.
I guarantee they're gonna do whatever they can
to
make
relevant.
Indiana a market.
That's how they made the playoffs this year.
Well, and then you gotta look at it like this. She fits the Indiana narrative, even though she don't necessarily represent that. She fits their narrative. Indiana is where the birthplace, many of them consider basketball.
Look, Bird still over there with the Pacers?
Bird.
He's in the ownership.
Even then, he's from there.
Yeah.
And we've been in a lot of, and see, you got to look at it like this, the wave of basketball too. There's a lot of people that want white players to shine again.
Oh, for sure.
Because now you got the international players coming over.
You feel me? You got they got the Cooper flag.
Exactly.
Phenomenon. It's like, they've been itching, chomping at the
right. And so I just see, and again, I'm not criticizing Caitlyn because she ain't been doing nothing but playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? But I know what the WNBA trying to do. I get it. You can do that. But much like Bird and Magic, they still credit to the Wilts, the Kareems.
Push your whole product.
Push your whole product.
Stop doing
ride the momentum,
yeah.
but push your whole product. That's all I'm saying. Because for years you haven't been doing that. And you got to take credit for why your league is going down because you ain't been pushing the whole product. That's all I'm saying.
Big fact.
Of course you're supposed to ride Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. They represent America. The urban city kid versus the rural kid. Just so happens they happen to be white and black. Push that narrative. Make money off of it. But don't make it seem like Caitlin Clark is the greatest point guard ever. That's not true.
She invented the basketball.
Yeah, that's not true. Now, give her credit. She's one of the best to come as of lately. A decorated rookie. But that was Parenchero. That was Becky Hammond. There were other point guards that you guys didn't push. And maybe somebody can rival me and say, well, you know what? We didn't have the mechanisms to push those girls like we do now.
Girls could hoop. No, I saw a white chick playing for Connecticut in the playoffs.
Think about all the great Connecticut and Tennessee are great programs.
Oh yeah. We talking
about
back to Lobo,
Candace Parker, Lobo. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they had a lot of momentum back then that they didn't push. And like I say, some people can say, you know what, we know what we're doing. Okay, all right, cool. But give me a 30-30 for the Comets. Give me a 30-30 for Shamika Holsquart. Give me a 30-30 for Maya Moore.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You know? Tell me.
Simone Augustus.
Yeah, tell me where they at. Talk about them. Or just do me a whole special from the time of the league to now.
Matter of fact, what's wrong with them doing like a 50 greatest? Like,
thank you.
Got to do a 50 greatest.
Thank you. Now why on DWB, me and you can sit here with Chuck on a random Monday night and say, do a top 50. Y'all mirror everything else the NBA does. Why y'all ain't do a top 50 players?
Straight up. Because you got the history.
You mean to tell me y'all ain't got somebody in the marketing office and y'all got a rich history? Man. Y'all got girls like think about Cooper. Y'all got girls that couldn't even. They had to girls had to play overseas.
They
had to play college ball.
The whole BG saga.
Man, right? Y'all ain't got a 50 players. Y'all ain't got a women's Hall of Fame.
You feel me?
Exactly WNBA Hall of Fame. Why y'all don't have that?
See, I think
y'all got
the legend
like y'all got a franchise.
You know?
Yeah, y'all got a franchise. Listen. Y'all got a franchise that won, and I'm not just saying this because y'all got a franchise that won 4 championships back to back. And sometimes you don't even know if the Comets existed. Why isn't the WNBA fighting? The NBA fight to keep Magic and Bird.
Period.
You'll never forget about Magic and Bird.
Period.
Whether Bird want to be seen or not, Magic everywhere.
Period.
You'll never forget about Michael Jordan. You won't even forget about Kareem. Why aren't they doing that?
You feel me?
Why we got to start with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese?
Yeah. Why you got to be a internet research god to really come up with this information? Because I'm so serious.
Exactly.
Because the Cheryl Millers, the who's JaVale McGee was Pam McGee.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's legends pay their way, had their heyday even before.
And even if you can't put them in the WNBA, make a women's Hall of Fame.
For real. Nancy Lieberman Klein.
And even if you can't, all right, you got the International Hall of Fame. Do something different. Do a WNBA Hall of Fame.
For sure.
Or here's the thing. Do something monumental. Who the hell is in the label for them? Who's the lady that's I don't even know. Is that Lieberman Klein?
I don't think so. Like it should be, but
Well, change the fucking label. Put Cynthia Cooper.
Seriously.
Or put.
Seriously.
You know what I'm saying?
Seriously.
Do something.
Like it's backwards. It's the opposite of the NBA. Think about it. We grew the product here, and now we're trying to change it to a global game.
Right.
It's the global product there.
Listen, we ain't even changed the logo, but we talking about it. Is it Jordan or Kobe they're going to change it to?
Homegrown.
You see what I'm saying?
They paying.
Right.
Man.
Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all letting 2 college kids come in. And
it got to be cold, right? It got to be cold.
I don't know, man.
I mean, just because, like,
it's posthumous. You have to.
Jordan already owned the jersey. Literally.
Yeah, but.
Half of the people he already owned.
Yeah, the only thing is 2 things. It's 2 things. It's 2 things that I say it's got to be Jordan. Number 1, Kobe emulated Jordan. Number 2, what is other than the Jerry West, what is the one logo where everybody respect worldwide.
But it's already on there.
Do we go to the jump? Is it the jump man?
That's
the jump man logo.
Yeah,
that's the or the Nike check.
Yeah, but what's a more better representation of the NBA what logo has united everybody in the NBA and basketball? Everybody universally knows.
So I think it's a new logo. Like I think you go with the Kobe silhouette, kind of like you did the Jerry West silhouette.
Because you got to ask yourself,
Kobe on a crossover.
But you got to
Kobe with a shot.
But you got to ask yourself this question: it sounds bad.
With the baby fro.
But it sounds bad. But the truth, if he didn't die, if he didn't go early,
he probably would have passed up MJ.
Nah, because he's already retired. He never passed.
Okay,
MJ.
That's true.
He never passed MJ.
Wait.
He never passed MJ.
Hold on. Scoring on the scoring list, which don't mean nothing, mind you. I mean, Bron is on tops on that, but I'm just saying when Kobe ain't stacking up higher than Mike on the all-time scoring list. Karl Malone was third.
But again, that's what I'm saying. This what you got to remember about Jordan. You might be right scoring, but scoring. Shoes.
No chips. No, impact alone. No, his
that's what I'm saying.
His logo, mark on the game.
You got to remember the logo. Jerry West, the logo is because of the impact.
Yeah.
What logo? Who else could you put in there who represents the NBA, who took the NBA to a new height commercially, and who still gets the respect of these players and these players?
Yeah,
it's Michael Jordan, man.
You can't put Magic in no pro kids.
You can't like true. As much as Magic could be a candidate. Kobe could be a candidate, but I'm just saying, everybody knows this.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
Yeah,
from the villages of Africa to Japan.
Yeah,
that patch, that Jordan logo, this right here is everywhere.
Yeah.
And you could make a case for Kobe, but you also got to say, where did Kobe get that from? Who was he emulating? It's got to be Jordan. But anyway, congrats to Artur Beterbiev, who was the first undisputed lineal light heavyweight champion since Michael Spence with the unanimous decision over Dimitri Bivol. I had Bivol winning too. 114 to 114. One judge had 115 to 113. Another judge had 116 to 112, which is outright crazy to me. I had Bivol winning, but I watched it again. I could see why somebody would have Beterbiev, but I always favor the boxer. And being that Beterbiev had a 100% knockout ratio, the fact that he did not knock out Bivol and Bivol was dominating that fight at a particular time, I had Bivol winning.
Hats off to both fighters.
That was
good for the sport.
Right.
Good for the sport.
Right. We have an undisputed champion at 175. All right. Shout out to Kristen Hayden, who became the first Black woman to win a national diving title. All right, I went in the archives for that. Shout out to the New York Yankees. I was doing this for Cole, but he punked out on me tonight for making another LCS. I think they got the most. Shout out to the Mets, who got spanked yesterday. They made another NLCS. And shout out to the association, brother, because we getting ready to be on the brink of another NBA season. We got a lot to talk about.
So on the baseball blast, they actually got a chance of having a New York World Series
again. Subway Series,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. They had it in 2000, I think. 2001. It was in the 2000s because I was in New York.
That was the last one.
Yeah. So shout out to them. That's why I put that on here, is that we could have and I don't want to sound like a hater, but I don't want to hear that because I'm gonna have to hit this dude's mouth.
Either way, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit this dude's mouth, man. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody. Ro, you got any shout outs before we get out of here? It's been a great show, man.
We don't want to hear that noise, Cole. Matter of fact, we want to talk about the Jets. Let's talk about some relevant New York City problems. Let's talk about DiVincenzo and Papa Brunson. We ain't get to that, but yeah, man, we were rocking, man. It was enjoyable. We enjoyed as much as y'all did, man. Like and subscribe.
I tell you what, man. Shout out to Chuck, man.
Hey, shout out to H-Town Dude 32.
That's right. He helped us
appreciate
out.
you tapping in. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
And
do
the
me a
other
favor,
kid.
homie. Follow us on the gram at Most Serious ENT. We'll follow you back, man. We'll send you some DMs, man. See if we can get you on virtually next time. We appreciate you tapping in.
Right. We appreciate your knowledge on the football game, on NFL. Shout out to the other kid that was asking about the Dallas Cowboys. I am so sorry I cannot remember your name.
Dark Horizon.
Dark Horizon. Shout out to him. And shout out to Coach Trey Austin. And shout out to everybody who tuned in that may have not gotten in on the chat. Hit that like and subscribe for us. Give us a thumbs up. Shout out to everybody who participated tonight. It made the show that much greater when we have the audience participate. Shout out to my man Ro with the H-Town jersey I always represent. Shout out to Chuck, the hardest working man in the most serious business and the podcast business. And we shout out to DWB for episode 5, season 3 on fire. Check us out at mostserious.com. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Shout out to my man Cole, the whole Most Serious staff. Shayla, we're looking for you to come back. We need that. We need that presence, and we need them San Antonio Spurs. We need somebody in here bigging up the Spurs. You should come back because now y'all got a chance to win something. But shout out to everybody. Shout out to the first lady of mostserious.com, Kim Lewis. And shout out to everybody. Shout out to my kids, my family that's checking us out. And let's go Texans. And shout out from DWB. We are out.
Season 3, Debate with Bake Sports Show. We coming live from the Mo. You know how we go. We talking basketball, football, and boxing. You got something to say, man? Jump up in them comments. We gon' keep it real with opinions and facts. Let's look at the stats. Well, that settles that. It ain't no hating. We just debating, interviewing guests so we can learn how they operating. Give you our perspective in a way that's captivating. Another sports show to put in your rotation. See, Bake choose the topics, everybody looking. Laro got the commentary and he keep it cooking. Cole with the game, he coming live from Brooklyn. You know, it's the most serious production. We giving game free, so tap in and see. Season 3, DWB, MSC.